seem to be winning the tiebreaker and getting a guaranteed top 3 finish.
Team Germany is your 5-digit European Cup champion, the first champion of Europe.
All right. Welcome everybody to the prediction stream. And before we actually start talking about the prediction stream, first reminder is that all the donation banners, all the donor products, now the supporter banner costs $5 instead of the usual 10, and that is going to be lasting starting from this particular moment to the end of the Swiss stage. But anyway, business aside, welcome everybody to the prediction stream. My name is Philoxan. And we got one hell of a lineup for our predictions. So before we actually introduce you to what predictions are, if you still don't know, I would like to introduce our crazy lineup. So first of all, we have me. I'm the newborn host of 5-Digit European Cup, and I'm just here to make your most uneducated guesses. So do not go hard on me. But besides that, we will be making predictions from me all the way to Gamili Crayola. So the next one is gonna actually be Baz Honorable, and this is the person that you all need to thank. He is hosting 5-Digit European Cup for the second time, and he is once again here for the predictions. How are you feeling, man?
Bro, what is this introduction? I did not expect that, bro. You're getting me nervous. You're getting me flustered.
Oh,
I'm
my
gonna
fault,
start
my fault,
blushing. Yeah, we're hosting another edition of 5-Digit European Cup. Obviously, big thanks to Project Hexagon because they're the main people supporting this whole project. Because obviously, neither me or Kiori could have such an active role as we did last year with the whole tournament. So thankfully, Philoxen and Project Hexagon stepped in to be a huge part of this, and they've been so supportive and in general have been absolutely carrying this alongside the amazing GFX and VFX team. As you can see, this year has been absolutely a big step up from last year, where it was a bit on the lower budget, and now we're like fully professional. Everything is fully done. Obviously, the same GFX as last year. Alicia's doing it this year, but this year she decided to just go all out on the GFX and has done an incredible job. And obviously, Iskas with the trailer video of Song and more video elements as well. And obviously, Wojdolas will make the videos for the what is to be pull showcases later on, which we will announce
That's
when
right.
that happens. But yeah, our next two guests are pretty well known in the tourney community. I feel like there's not a lot to introduce from them. We obviously have a we have a first time guest here on the channel, and obviously speaking, we have Sige, who has been playing 5EC last year and has done the fairy tale run with Sweden. Hello, Sige.
Hello. I really don't have much to say. I'm happy to be here. This is probably my first time this many people see my face. I am extremely nervous.
Hey, that's all right, man. No, guys, Siggy, do not be so shy. This is the guy who has been in the community for so long and knows the player base the best. This is why he is here. He also did 5WC 2024 predictions back in the day, of course, without live cam. So make a round of applause for Siggy. But yeah, hopefully you will enjoy this time here. And for the other guest, it is the lovely host of Dutch, and thank you so much for finding time to actually be here, because this entire event will take like 2 hours, which I'm really scared of. But it's Angela Merkel. Hello, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing pretty well. Like, I go by Angela Merkel in game, obviously, but I really try to get people to call me Tim instead. The username is more of a curve point. I just host tournaments. I'm pretty active in multiple different communities. I know a lot of people. so I was invited to be here. It's also my first camera appearance. Hi guys. And
But
there will be some hot takes probably today.
Oh, I cannot wait to see them. But yeah, great introduction. And the last but not least, we have Gami Crayola, our beautiful hamster right here. Unfortunately, not being here on time. Will join us a bit later, so you will hear from him. But he is the leader of Project Hexagon, and well, thanks for allowing to stream on this channel. And yeah, with that, you are now familiar with our lineup. So predictions, right? What do we know about them? Well, we have 5 of us. For now, it's only 4. We will be making our own guesses on which place a country will get in 5 EC. And in the end, you see that leaderboard that you have first place, second, third, and all the way down to DNQ. So it is going to get filled up by the end of the stream. And with that, you will be free to actually make, you know, some funny gifts of our rankings.
Oh god, not again.
But yeah, a few things to mention before that is that this time the competition is going to be hella competitive. We have the entirety of 820 players actually joining 5 EC, and we have the total of 31 team. And starting off, we will be going by the alphabetical order, so all the way from Austria, Balkans, and all the way down to United Kingdom. So if you want to see United Kingdom, you gotta stay with us for, you know, till the end of the stream. So good luck for all of the UK enjoyers. But for now, I believe there is not much, nothing else to say. So we can start actually our stream with the first country being Austria. And looking at Austria, they seem like a very much improving country. They did not qualify last time, but in 5WC, they found the guy who was nicknamed Demystify, who helped a lot for Team Austria. And considering they got him and they got top 32 in 5WC, you know, 5WC, I would say they do have a chance of qualifying considering their experienced roster. So I would personally put them at top 13, top 16. What do you think, Baz?
There is hope for Austria because obviously there is an improvement as a lot of the teams have improved a lot from 5AC into 5WC, and from 5WC until now they've had time to improve and refine the skills they've been showcasing in the tournament. So far, for me it's a tricky one because considering that competition is so tight and countries around them also improved. Last year they made it to 17th seed in qualifiers, and then which was the last seed before entering Swiss stage, and they got out qualified by countries that have maybe been a bit of a surprise for some people. So for me it was tricky to place Austria because it's on that border edge of teams that are super competitive, but they could also get knocked down if they had a bad day on qualifier. So it's really tricky for me to place this, but I feel like in the end some countries have to take the bullet, and for me this is the first one that takes the bullet, and unfortunately for me, Austria does not qualify.
No way.
And maybe controversial as this is, they have the possibility to do it. It's just that the competition is so packed from like 12th place to last place. Well, not last place, but like close to like 26 more or less. I feel like all the countries there, well, not 26, 23rd, I would say, because there's not that many countries, but it's a pretty tight competition between all of them. Most of the countries with full rosters should be able to compete between them quite nicely, and I think Austria might get a bit edged out by some other countries, which I'll mention later, but yeah, Austria for me does not qualify, unfortunately.
Okay.
So, okay, I'm next in line. I actually got to meet a lot of these people in person not that long ago, 2 months ago. I was there for a LAN, so I actually do know the faces behind a lot of these names. I had Austria as winning a match actually for the longest time. I had them at 9th to 12th for a while, and then sort of had to push them down a little. I will have them at 13th to 16th, which I think is sort of one of these edge cases where I think they might actually place a little higher than this. Austria always had those issues with a lot of players that were pretty good, but only always in singular skill sets. They didn't really have like the depth of roster to really fill out those skill sets. And I think this is the first year where they will actually have more things to pick into and more roster depth. And a lot of these new people are actually quite active and grinding. I think Karl is way improved from last year as sort of the rock of this team. And yeah, I actually have pretty high hopes for these players. I think they will at least qualify. Maybe win a match. They are on that edge, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Tim. I think this team is pretty solid. They're keeping only 3 out of their 8 players from last year, but they are 3 fairly recognizable, 3 fairly solid players for me. And I generally, when I see the Austrian community, I see a booming community that is just very motivated right now. I see their OWC success as trickling down quite a bit. And yeah, I'm putting them at least qualifying.
Okay.
I kind of doubt that they win a match, but I absolutely think they could.
Yeah. I believe the general consensus would be 13th to 16th from what we're seeing. Like even considering they lost Ayo here, who was pretty good in 5WC, they still have that experienced roster and they got some reinforcements. So pretty sure 13th to 16th would be okay for them. If anything, once we get some contradictions, we might put a country up or down a bit at like one stage. But yeah, it doesn't really matter from the start. So with that, I believe we can move to our next one, which is going to be Balkans. And ooh, this one is really interesting. Because last time Balkans, as you can tell, they only had 4 players. In 5EC, Alicia and Danzi are the only ones who stayed in the lineup. Now we have in the full lineup as well. They unfortunately missed a player, did not make it past the screening. And with that, they still have a pretty decent roster. You have Chappy and Sirek, the 2 powerhouses. I would say Sirek with time decaying back to 5-digit, now making it for 5EC lineup, and of course Chappy being the carry here. But if you ask me, you know, I think Alicia will kill me if I do this, but potentially they could get in top 13 to top 16. I feel like realistically it's gonna be DNQ. But you know, for the good hope, I will put them at top 13, top 16.
Oh,
Alicia, if you make top 13, top 16, I will donate you this dog. I promise. So
a singular dog, it's crazy.
a singular dog in the form of an egg. So yeah, do not cook me.
It's going to, guys.
That's what the tournament prize pool is going to. That singular dog to Alicia.
That's right. That's right. Baz, please assist me. Please assist me.
Unfortunately, I'll not be able to assist you that much, considering I don't have the same opinion as you. Last year, obviously, they qualified. Well, they qualified. They tried to qualify somewhat. It's a bit harsh. But they only had 4 players, and with 4 players, it's not enough exactly to cover a lot of the skill sets, especially considering Alicia was fresh into 5-digits, so she was still getting the hang of the star rating and overall tourney scene in 5-digits, so she struggled on a couple of things. Danzi was one of the players that definitely helped a lot, as well as I think Nutella Pancake got some pretty good scores from what I remember. But yeah, obviously they had a 4-man roster and did not manage to do as much as some people might have hoped. This year they do have a full roster. They obviously have Cheppy, who this year decided not to be in the staff team as last year and decided to actually be part of the Balkans team. And obviously the return of Sirek, who is gonna definitely help this team at least not get bottom seed. I still believe they're quite a few away from reaching 16 to 13, considering the competition. But this year, I definitely can see them, if they get good enough qualifiers, they could crack the top 20, at least seeding wise. So, yeah, but unfortunately, they do not qualify for me. And in general, it's just nice to see Balkans this year actually have a full team roster. So Tim.
Yeah, I really don't have that much to add. I think Balkans is one of those teams that I considered qualifying at one point, but I think their main issue is that they would need real carry performances from like 2 to 3 players at that point. And I think that just the deeper rosters and the bigger player bases will prevail in that case. So I also have them as not qualifying. I think this team is pretty good though, overall. Like this has potential, especially if for like a next year situation where a few players decide to stay in the rank range, improve, broaden their skill sets. I think this has potential for the future.
Yep.
Yep.
You're gonna have to agree again. There's not a whole lot of players I know from this team. I mean, I know Cyric pretty well, but mostly as a host. I know he does play some tournaments. The others, Alicia and DanZ are staying. I don't remember them doing, like, I don't remember their performance from last year. I think they seated quite lowly in qualifiers, and it is just really rough it's really rough to try to qualify. I think they were bottom 3 in qualifiers last year. Though I don't remember the placement.
They were exactly 26th, which was the last team.
Oh my
So,
god,
you
guys,
are- you are
cannot
quite
be
correct.
we cannot be doing them that dirty. But yeah,
It's not about it's not about doing it dirty because
No,
it's a
good.
4-player roster with last year Alicia was 88k or somewhere around the range. Danzy was also around 60 like 70k. I think their highest
Okay.
ranked person last year was 36k, which
That's okay.
is
They got this time. I trust. Yeah. But anyway, we'll see how
It's-
this goes.
It's
We'll see how this
difficult. It's
goes.
difficult. I don't think
There's a
they
chance.
will.
With a full team, you can always hope, at least.
True.
You can. There's more. At least they can change players between maps if the case where a player excels at the skill set more than another. They at least now have the opportunity to change that player out for certain pigs. But the competition is really strong this year, and it's gonna be difficult. But there's hope. There's hope for all teams in general. I feel like the cutoff point is obviously in the upper area of Swiss stage, which I don't think they will reach, but you never know. We
Okay.
could have surprises.
Yep. Well, that rounds up the Balkans team. So let's move on to the next one, which is actually going to be a Slavic country, the first one that we're going to cover today. It is Team Belarus. Did not qualify for both of 5EC and 5WC in 2025. And they got a lot of changes from what I'm seeing. The only remaining players are going to be Bigos and Togepi. The ones that I know, though, I really love seeing Amber and Axis Member 21 joining for Team Belarus. I do recognize these guys from some of those past 6-digit tourneys, like 6EC, for example, which is pretty interesting. Love to see them improve, but I think just the lack of information here and considering the fact that, of course, they have improving players, but they did not make it past qualifiers both of the times, I will have to put them in DNQ for the first time of my guesses. So yeah, that's it. The first DNQ guess. Baz, what do you think?
Yeah, there's not a lot to say about Belarus. As much as they've changed quite a bit of the roster, it's they're still a bit away from making top 16 in my opinion. They again might have those struggles where maybe one or two players might perform really well for them and will help them carry their performance in seeding wise quite a bit, but the full team overall on the pool might struggle a lot more than it actually seems on paper. So while I do want a lot of the teams that haven't qualified last year to qualify this year, I feel like this is the case where they will go not qualifying 2 years in a row, as obviously I feel they still lack quite a bit to reach that top 16.
Man.
Yeah, once again, kind of similar. I really had trouble thinking about stuff to say for this team, to be honest. Especially, I don't really have like a 6-digit background, and if those players are known there. I didn't really have much to say about this team, so I'm also gonna pick DNQ. I think Belarus has always been a country that had a few players dragging them up into qualifying range or even slightly higher in 5WCs, for example, like Decek. And those names are kind of gone for now from Belarus, so I think their DNQ streak we see on the screen will continue with this one. Yep.
I actually have a few things to say about this one. First is it will be rough for them. They are replacing 7 out of their 8 players, and that will always just be rough. But I want to mention 2 people. Hosimachi Susei. I saw play DACH qualifiers, and he was actually pretty solid.
Oh.
And the second one I want to mention is Lopij. I don't think anyone else here remembers him, but this guy was a D-ranker back in 2020. I was shocked when I saw his name.
God. Oh my god,
dude!
OG
I don't know
D-ranker.
how he's gonna play, but like he has a 2020 badge. That's fucking cool.
Oh, that's
I'm
true. Wait.
I'm still gonna put them D and Q, but I was quite happy to see Lopij back. That is a blast from the past.
I mean, yeah, with some insights from Sige, honestly, I would not be that much surprised if they made it in the Swiss stage. But yeah, so far the consensus is DNQ, and there is room to try and completely shatter our thoughts about Belarus. But with that, we will move on to our next country, which is going to be pretty spicy because we're seeing Belox here. And ooh, this one is interesting. They got top 9 to top 11s in the last 5 EC, but then they did not qualify in 5W, so they got seed 39 if I remember correctly. And the thing is, their roster, if you take a look at the avatars and compare the roster to their 5WC roster as well, this one hasn't really changed. I believe the only new player is going to be Demon from... that did not play in 5WC, but is playing here. And
I need to say something about this. In 5WC, they're not combined, no? Like this...
I'm pretty sure in 5WC it was only Belgium.
Yeah,
yeah. In fact, not combined. Not combined.
There's a huge deal with the fact that Endmikov is allowed to play here with a much stronger team, because he is, at least if he's in form, he's just their singular best player.
For sure.
Don't take that 5WC... Like, take that 5WC result with a lot of salt. I still have DNQ. I'm going to remove that real quick. That is not...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Whoopsie.
All right. Now you may go on.
But yeah, they have a really experienced roster. I believe the team synergy is going to be spot on for this team. And even though the competition is pretty high, I am still willing to put them at actually top 9 to top 12. So what do we think, guys?
9 to 12 is exactly where they finished last year, pretty much. They finished really high in the Swiss table. They almost managed to come out. It came down to a bit of map difference between them and I think it was Spain, if I recall correctly. It was really close. I can check it real quick. But yeah, they almost made it out of Swiss stage, and it was pretty impressive from them. No, it was United Kingdom, actually. It was 1 map difference between them and United Kingdom, and they would have been drawn. So if they would have won 2 maps last year, 2 more maps, they would have made it to Swiss stage and eliminated United Kingdom out of the tournament. But yeah, this obviously really strong team, and they can only improve from what they did last year. Obviously, the merge helps them a bit, as Sige mentioned earlier. So I feel like this year... the competition is just tighter, so as I get jump scared by Mr. Hunter, I will be putting them at slightly controversial. I'll be putting them a bit lower in the 13th, 16th category.
Okay, works. Once Gamili is here, I believe Tangela and Sige, you can still talk, and we will just Gamili will just keep up. So yeah, please give me your opinions.
Yep. Tim, all you.
Yeah, sure. So I had conflicting opinions about this team. I first thought of them as being kind of outscaled compared to last iteration, as keeping their team, and sort of last time that 9 to 11th rating is actually kind of kind of weird in a way because in group stage they only won against the bottom 3 seed Finland, and the other win was an forfeit from Ukraine from the incident.
That's true.
We do not
And-
mention the incident, please. Oh my god.
And the issue with that was that I think this team is like slightly better or in a slightly better situation than what we had before, where they sort of, I think this team can go like slightly higher than qualifying, like 12th place. I think they are actually at the bottom of 13th to 16th in overall. I think this team is probably likelier to qualify, but I actually had thought about them DNQing without like a strong performance from Enmikov specifically. I think that's really needed to push them into winning a match even. Like this roster has a lot more depth than a few other teams that I think will qualify, but they are lacking more of the star power, I feel like, or they have to have it to advance in a way. So I will have them as qualifying, but I was debating to not have them here, actually.
Oh,
Interesting. Okay.
I see. I see.
For Belux, I have some. I checked through their matches last year because this is a roster that I was very uncertain about, and I see that they're keeping pretty much. Like they had 4 players who played almost all of the maps. They are losing Connie Paku or Connie and Infernal King, now known as Infernal Queen. Those 2 were pretty integral to the reading roster, so I think that could nuke their qualifiers placement a bit if they do not have a reading roster. However, I think for bracket matches, this team is actually really solid. And you mentioned, okay, their win against Ukraine is just, Ukraine getting DQ'd, but their win against Finland was a 5-0 with pretty solid scores. Like they did not perform poorly in bracket stage. And then there's the interesting thing where this chart from 9 to 12th and 13th to 16th doesn't exactly line up with where teams are going to place in the Swiss stage, because there's 2 teams that are going to place at the bottom and then 3 and then 3 instead of 4 and 4.
True.
Yep.
I have this team as definitely winning a match, could maybe win a second match, but definitely winning a match, which I'm not really sure where to place. Like I have them 12th or 13th. I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna put them up in 9 to 12, but it's really hard for me to judge.
Oh my god. And now it's gonna be actually really hard to get them a place because we have 2 people voting for 9th to 12th and 2 people for 13th to 16th.
It's really tricky because it's one
I
of those
think-
teams that on a good day could really be just higher or lower, and it's kind of hard to place.
I
I
agree.
think
Yeah.
I think the safer placement would be 13th to 16th, and then we see if we're
Okay,
lacking a team in 9 to 12. Considering how uncertain I was in my placement, I think that's
Yeah,
where the
yeah.
average.
Works with
goes.
me. I will agree to that. So yeah, we have half of the 13th to 16th placements now filled up, and with that, I believe Gamili is ready to actually show up. No, not really. Okay.
Maybe on stream. There we go.
Okay. Oh, our special guest is now here. Welcome, Gamili.
Finally, that's right. That's right.
Okay, he can be the tiebreaker actually.
That
The
tiebreaker decision.
TB
yeah.
alert. TB hype.
Tiebreaker.
TB alert. This is a Thomosphere gamer take. Okay, I've basically listened to a lot of what we've been talking about already, and frankly speaking, my interpretation of this roster is that it's gonna be either a side grade or a downgrade than last year's roster. They could completely prove me wrong, but for what it's worth, they lost most of their hard hitters, as you mentioned before, and so for that reason, I don't think that they hit above 9 to 12. They can either hit 9 to 12 or 13 to 16th, but I'm more inclined to say 13 to 16, at least for now, because I think it's just easier to get it out of the way. We can always reshuffle things later on, but for me, I'm going to tiebreaker and say 13th, 16th for now.
Yeah, fair enough. And I believe this is gonna be the consensus. So thank you for your opinion. And with that, we are gonna see what's coming up next. And it actually is gonna be Bulgaria. Being a bit of a downgrade from last year's roster, having
bit?
full lineup. And now update. That's right. And now only having 5. In fact, they had 6 players signed up, but their captain Amex got screened out during screening.
07, brother.
Yeah, and 07 because Amex and Still, those are 2 players. Even I played against their former 6-digit players. I played against them in 6WC3 2 years ago. And yeah, it's just such a shame for them that they already had only 6 players, not a full lineup, and now missing one more that was pretty decent at the game. And realistically, I would just put him as DNQ right here as well. I'm seeing Baz, Sigi, and Gami already doing the same thing. So I believe, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
okay.
probably don't need to do like
Okay.
a full round of talking.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
a downgrade on the roster and on the team size, and obviously having their players screened is their captain screened, which is even more of a hard hit for them. I feel like only unfortunate things have happened to them since 5EC last year, and it's unfortunate to see a team crumble this way. But it's sometimes just how the cookie crumbles, and for Bulgaria is gonna be quite not probably not as an excited like qualifiers showcasing as last year, even though last year they also struggled quite a bit even with the full
Yeah, I
roster.
know. So seems like it's best of luck to Bulgaria. Maybe minor league is gonna be the way, but with that we will just have to wait and see. And with that, we can move on to a country that is pretty interesting to discuss actually, because we're looking at Czechia right
Oh, the hot
here.
takes are
Right?
out.
Yeah, and to
Not the
start
usual.
it all off, well, first of all, you do not see the roster of Team Czechia because last year it was Czechoslovakia. There was 2 Slovaks in the roster and 6 Czechs. But yeah, the thing with Czechia, it looks to me that they have been constantly improving on these 5UC, 5WC tournaments, getting from top 17 to top 24 in 5WC. And I tell you what, they had literally the same roster minus William. So all these 7 players you see above, they all participated in the 5WC. And I believe with time, they only improved even more. You have Hydrogen Baby, who won the biggest Czechoslovak 1v1 tournament not so long ago. And also Hazuki Sendai is the guy who builds the strong core alongside Hydrogen Baby. So these 2, you better watch out for them. And on my list, oh, that's interesting. I put them at top 7, top 8, guys.
Whoa.
Bracket stage. Ooh.
Bracket stage.
Spicy. I think this is the first one I'm gonna actually get like hated on.
Oh no.
I did change it a
DNQ.
bit. I in before the stream, I talked with everyone and I said where I placed them. I changed my mind a bit. I shuffled a couple of teams in my list because I feel like there is some players that will carry this team forward, and players with a lot of experience, as Philoxen just mentioned. So instead of what the awful placement I gave them before, it's still not exactly a placement that might be optimal. But I think 9 to 12, it's really fair. I feel like they'll make it the last week of Swiss. And in the last week of Swiss, they will have a really close match versus a team like, let's say, Spain, or just any other team that could make it to the last week of Swiss and have a really good performance. It's going to be really difficult to get out of Swiss, but they're definitely in that top 10 threshold where they will make the last week of Swiss if they don't perform as good as we think.
Okay.
Okay, here come the hot takes. I have Czechia at 5 to 6.
Whoa. Okay.
The reason is that I have like not really contacts, but I did talk with them a little, and apparently that 5WC result is mostly like a product of not taking that tournament particularly seriously, or like the team kind of imploding in a way, or so I heard. And just from the recent performances, in my opinion, they actually have like a great team. I think just from individual qualifiers I've watched recently and tournaments, both Hydrogen Baby and Herzogi Sendai are both well-rounded and good enough to be like a core for this team. And then just recently, I think Fodor has played great. I think in Snade's band format grand finals, if I remember correctly. Just a pretty well-rounded team. I have a few questions for like the fourth player syndrome on a few skill sets, but I think like the core and basis of this team is great. I have them comfortably placing above other teams you mentioned, like Spain, for example. Like I think this team is just way better. Yep.
I'm gonna have to agree. I know firsthand. I faced them in Snail's band format grants. These players are so good.
True.
These players are so good. It's mainly the core of Hazuki Sendai, Hydrogen Baby, and Alnisour, who are like on their skill sets among the best players in the tournament. I think they are going to struggle on late state SRs just because fourth man. There is the what if of like, obviously Shutterstock signed up and then something happened with him. Maybe he hasn't been playing the game, but if he had played and he had been in his prime, I would have put them second or first.
No way.
Just as an asterisk.
Okay.
But as the team is right now, it's really good. I respect these players a ton, and I want to see them do well. I'm putting them 5th to 6th.
Got a hard choice, Gamili.
Oh.
This was always going to be the controversial one.
Man, I'm like the lone wolf though, man. What the hell?
Okay. I think my mind has sort of shifted upon hearing all four people's entries because I listened to I look at these placements from Czechia. See, 5 EC25, 5 WC25. There are two things that I note. The fact that they're old placements from the previous two tournaments, and the fact that they have a lot of returning players. That's the key here. They have a lot of experience, and they have a lot of they have a lot of synergy, and that's that's one of the most important parts when it comes to team size 8. The only question for me is if I can't remember, was it Sig or Tangela? One of you guys said that 5WC performance was because of a lack of seriousness. Now, what I'm perceiving this is if you have the same roster and you're going into another tournament, will you have the attitude that, hey, I want to win, I want to try to get as high as I can, or I want to take every match seriously? That's the main thing for me. That's why I'm a bit apprehensive of putting them any higher. And so for that reason as well, I think I'm going to be a bit more conservative and instead go for a 7th to 8th for Czechia. For now, for now. That's my take. That's my take.
I mean, now looking at all of our guesses, 7th to 8th seems the middle point here.
It could be 56. It could be 56.
It could be 56. I have the faith in them.
Like Bez is just a hater, high key.
It's not that I'm a hater. It's just that in the past they just had moments where they underperformed like crazy, and you looked at the roster and it's like they should have won matches easily. And I'm scared that it might be the same case this time around, where in Swiss stage they might just encounter tricky opponents and they might not reach their full potential. So that's why I put them a bit lower, to be a bit more cautious. And it's also because I may have a bit of a bias to a certain team that I won't name, that will show a bit later on. But yeah, it's just, I feel like 7th to 8th is a fair placement for them.
Okay. Okay, then there goes 7th to 8th. Might move it somewhere, but yeah, we'll get to see a bit later. The next one is going to be the country that starts with the name with letter D, so it's gonna be Denmark. And looking at Denmark, they got a pretty similar situation to Bellox, I would say. They got top 9 to top 11 last year, and they did not qualify for 5WC. They got seed 40, in fact, over there. And they also got a lot of new players, though they still do have Stealth. And Stealth is, of course, the captain and the overall carry of Team Denmark, was placing the highest all the time in those 5WC qualifiers. And in 5EC as well, being such a powerhouse that you could rely on. And you can see those new players. For example, I see Jukas, the guy who is a really active tournament player, great at tapping, and I think he has great potential. But I'm just not sure that much about the other players. So I was thinking between 13, 16s and DNQ, and here, for the good hope, since we still have like 2 spots left in 13 to 16, I would put them over there.
It's a bit tricky. I feel like in my opinion, last year they had a roster that could have they could have did a bit more. They definitely had a player that performed quite well, in my opinion. I feel like throughout the whole of Swiss stage they did pretty well, which was Myojo, which this time around they're not here. But it's a bit of a tricky one because it's one of those teams that is on the border of qualifiers for me. For me, it's like they either qualify or not. And considering there's a lot of new faces, I'm scared to put them in the qualifier range because they might just slightly underperform. Then again, competition this year, it's so tight. I'm gonna repeat this 3 million times. Competition this year is about as close as it's gonna get. But for me, I feel like Denmark is barely not gonna make it. They're gonna make it to seed 17 and not qualify. But
man.
they have the potential to make it. It's again, anything that we put in the not qualify or 13 to 16, they could be switched around quite easily. I feel like because there's teams with potential and there's obviously teams that might overperform our expectations.
Okay.
For me, Denmark is like in a similar ballpark in a way to some other teams that I mentioned, where I think it is Lofton. I don't have notes for this, but Lofton has crazy rating and is like a former 4WC player. I just looked at ratings to get like a rough idea, and it's like 6,830 or something. I think there's like a way where this team... I think this team has like a foundation and a way to get carried in both directions there, where I think they at minimum should qualify. I think this is more reasonable with like a basis of older players like Stealth and newer players that maybe decayed into range like Lofton, where this should at least qualify, I think.
I think we're underestimating Denmark a little bit, honestly. Looking at their team, they kept 5 out of their 8 players. And they have 2 pretty big additions with Lothjon and Jukas, who both decayed back into range. Although Jukas might have just come back to the game. He is an old name who I recognize very well. True. They are losing Raz, who is a very big loss. He was part of their mechanics core last year, as well as Myojo from the incident.
No.
I would say both of these players.
We do not speak.
Both of these players are pretty much matched by Lothjon. Like they were not in for the same maps. They pretty much took turns going in for maps. I think Lothjon matches their scores on either of their skill sets. And then I think the team is just pretty solid. Like I have them 9-12th. I have them pretty comfortably winning at least a match. I have them pretty much as the exact same as Belux, where they kept almost everything, and they have one player who I think is really, really good. This one being Lothjon. I think Stealth is also very good at his skill sets, but he's not a perma-lobby player.
At the 9 to 12 for the longest time, by the way. I just wanted to note that this team is kind of bordering between those for me.
Yours, high key, Bez is just chronic hater. Like, frankly speaking, I don't see a world where Denmark doesn't qualify. Like, if Denmark doesn't qualify, my mind is blown because, like, okay, I might not be the most familiar with these players, but just of name power, I mean, Sig, you put it very well. They have 5 returning players, and they have, new additions such as Lothjon and Jukas. I mean, I was on a team with Jukas. I know what that guy is capable of. I think that it's just a pander to Bez hate watching just a little bit. I'm not quite comfortable enough. Yes, I'm a pussy to put them 9th to 12th. I'm gonna put them 13, 16 for now.
Man.
I think we can go with that.
Yeah, no, it seems like 13-16 is the way here.
No, then
Yeah.
Best would have to do the tiebreaker and he just be put DNQ. Like, what the hell, man?
I mean, Sige put 9-12, and it
Yeah.
balances out between us. So therefore,
Totally.
15-16 is the exact placement they would
That's
finish.
true.
But it's
That
it's for me, it's not a question of hate watching. It's a question of I have like teams all over the place, and I feel like some teams will perform good because last year they surprised, and some teams that might underperform a bit this year. It's really tricky to place teams between at the edge of and border of qualifier,
That's
because I
true.
feel like
That's true.
everything from 10th downwards is to 20th. There's so many good teams.
And it's early round as well. You never know what's happening at low SR, man.
I mean,
Yeah, this team might actually struggle a little in the stages where other teams might have more like skill sets covered. I think they will run into roster issues earlier overall.
We all hate low SR.
Yep, indeed. So yeah, looks like 13-16 is slowly but surely getting fully filled up. And with that, we will go see our next country. It's gonna be Estonia. They did not qualify last year. Last year they performed as the Baltics alongside Lithuania and Latvia. This time getting enough. Oh, what?
my bad. Misclick. Misinput.
Interesting.
Misinput.
All
It was a
right,
misinput.
amazing clutch from Bez right here.
bad, bro.
This time having enough sign-ups to actually have a full team. The things I know about is actually I don't really much know about Estonia. I know Mega Hello is a good tournament host, and he is an experienced tourney player
That's
as
me.
well. For others, I honestly am not so aware. Really such a shame that Evil Gamings did not made it in the roster, because well, the guy has 3 tourney badges and he just did not decay in time. It was like 100 ranks away. So with him, I would be willing to give it like 13-16, but without the hydrogen bomb, I will put him at DNQ, unfortunately.
Without the evilest gaming.
The hydrogen bomb is crazy. I mean, last year with Evil's Gaming, they did not manage to qualify, but then again, they had a weaker roster overall as the Baltics, and considering Estonia had around 4 to 3-ish players. I don't recall the exact number, but in total they had 12. They did tryouts, and even with the best players from the Baltic countries, they didn't manage to qualify. They actually placed 19th in seedings with the merge, with Evil Gamings in the team, and Evil Gamings as a powerhouse did not manage to carry them that much in the seedings ranking. It's pretty much him and I think another player helping them. So yeah, this year it's not looking bright for them without Evil Gaming, so it's gonna be a DNQ. So Tim, take it away.
Yeah, the Evil Gaming's argument is like I think even if Evil Gaming's was there, it would have to be like a carry thing. This roster is just so weakened by having enough players to make a team, kinda that issue, and for that reason, it's just DNQ. I don't think there's a way they're gonna make it with all the like. There's more teams this time. There's more stacked teams. There's more deeper teams. I think Estonia just on its own wouldn't make it at all. Not really a chance, unfortunately.
I don't have much to add, but I was told a few days ago that by a friend that Mega Hello was actually ranking up and that he set some pretty good scores. So shout out to that. He could be in good form and he could place high on the individual qualifier leaderboard. I don't have much else to add. I don't think I've seen any of these other players in tournaments, and I don't think they qualify off of that.
Oh yeah, you're right. This guy has been farming. Past few months, he's been setting nothing but 500. He's set 2 500 PPs and like 3 high 400. So definitely in good form. But there's not a lot going for this roster. Unlike the 3 teams that we currently have in 13-16. If you just do a quick comparison, nothing really stands out apart from the fact that Mega Hello is a fellow goated host. But yeah, let's just get this over and done with.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of top 13, top 16 teams. We have the next one, which honestly I think would very well fit in that spot. It is Team Finland. And looking at it, what the hell? They got a lot of changes. But before I actually go and look at them, look at their collab respect. I really like those. I really like those in the forest. And yeah, I think that they might give a shot in winning the collab contest at the end. But yeah, besides that, oof, boy, what can we say? They got top 70, top 24 in 5WC, but the thing is they had Olivy in both 5UC and 5WC. Now they do not have Olivy, who is the best player in the team. Though still they have the remaining players like Vaisky and Casimiro, who they are hard hitters. They have been really consistent and stable throughout those country-based tournaments playing for Finland. And with their new captain, I believe White Cat Mamali, I believe I faced this guy in Romaya. He was pretty cracked. So yeah, so that is pretty much it from me, 13 to 16. And I shall only guess what the other players are capable of.
Man, this is tricky. They have so much potential, this team, because obviously they have White Cat My Mommy, who's like the new addition to this team, and I feel like they will help alleviate a bit of the pain of some players leaving from last year. And obviously Gigel as well is one of the names I know a bit more about. So it's like there's a lot of hope for them in the sense of, hey, we will manage to qualify, like just like last year. Last year they made it to 14th and they didn't manage to win that many picks. And if I remember, they were one of the teams that didn't win a singular match last year in Swiss stage. I will double check just in case, but I'm pretty sure they were one of the few teams. Yep, they were one of the two teams that didn't manage to win a singular match last year. So it's looking pretty grim in Swiss stage if they make it. It's hard to say. I feel like they could make it, they could not. It's on the borderline, it's on the nice edge, but I have to put some teams in the NK and some not, and I feel like it's the case where I'm just gonna keep it in does not qualify even though they have potential.
Yeah, I would agree that this is one of the teams that just gets edged out by the overall higher level and deeper rosters. I think this team will DNQ not by that much, but just it's probably a overall worse roster in comparison to others for the tournament, and they barely qualified last time. So I will go with DNQ, and I will say that I have seen White Cat My Mommy in tournaments and Romei also recently, and they seem pretty good. But the loss of Olivia, who was like their most known and especially most internationally known player, is probably just dragging them down, especially in like a qualifier setting where every score counts.
I definitely agree. I think Olivia and Esriku are pretty big losses. I think Esriku almost decayed back into range, which would have made me a lot more certain in my placement of them. However, I think I went through the teams and I'm like, I'm comparing Finland to another team and I'm like, okay, I think they placed 16th. I think they barely qualified just on a hunch. I can't justify it really, but I have them as barely qualifying.
Yeah, my justification for where I'm gonna put them is also similar to Sige's, the heebie-jeebies. I think that they qualify, barely qualify, because I'm comparing them. Well, I don't know which country Sige is comparing them to, but I'm comparing them to 13th to 16th. I think if we consider that Austria is qualifying, Eurovision, then I think Finland should also get through 13th to 16th. But now our bottom qualifiers are starting to get packed up, so we're gonna have to start moving people moving forward.
It's gonna be fun to do, but I can assure that the next country is not gonna be in that range, because fasten your seatbelts. You know what we have here. It is Team France, the second placer. Yeah,
pack it up.
That's right. Okay. Anyway.
Fine, guys.
Yep. Okay.
Insert France joke here.
Insert France joke.
No, please do not.
Yeah, now, logically speaking, I do see a couple of changes from last year, but these are not the carries by any means. Well, you still have Punkisteria, who is the strongest French player by far in those 5-digit tournaments in this rank range. Probably like demise JD of New Era, you know what I mean? Getting like seed 10 in qualifiers for France in 5WC and just overall being the one-man army for Team France. Of course, with the supports joining him as well, it's going to be Luis D. I believe Gamili will tell you more about this guy, but he's a pretty strong all-round.
My bad! I was not winning that match. There was no way I was winning that match.
Yep, that's right. Then of course you have Jiuchu playing in those 5-digit country-based tournaments and being a really strong core player for Team France throughout the years. Luis Diva already mentioned, and this time they were joined by Mikado Legato, a player who is a very active tournament player and has been grinding those gimmick maps. And not only that, tapping and gimmicks, you definitely should go check out this guy's performance. He got something that you need to know. But yeah, that's like only half of the team that I covered, but I believe the others are also have a lot of things to present that they have in store. So, for the curse, I will put the second place again.
I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Okay, Baz, okay, Baz.
DNQ, actual France.
Yeah, I'm gonna put France DNQ, and I'm gonna get the whole of France to nuke my house. It's not that harsh. It's more of a case where this year the top 3 teams I feel like are a bit more established. France has the potential, obviously, to make it to finals and grand finals. There's not even a question about that because they are France in the end. It's just a matter of certain changes in the French roster leave me with uncertainties. Where is the case where you could place them higher or lower? You could do it a bit, but for the sake of my top 3 predictions, I have to unfortunately do it this way. And for me, France is gonna be 4th. Last year in qualifiers, they had a bit of a trickier time, and then obviously in the bracket stage, they had interesting match versus yours truly, where, well, not me myself, but we all know what happened in 5CC 25, where they absolutely got upset by the least candidate to even like make it that far. And then they had that amazing run in losers brackets. But yeah, I don't think this year Kazakhstan is going to be their catalyst, but they will manage to finish in 4th this year.
Okay.
Okay, so a lot of this is going to hinge on just comparing the teams above it, right? So you're on these high placings, you're just going to look against and weigh them against the other teams at the top. And for that reason, I have decided to put France 3rd. I think France has an amazing carry in Punkisteria, who might be the best player in the rank range even. I think Punkisteria at his peak is like a player that carries teams into semis or finals in 5K tournaments. I've seen it. So if Punkisteria is peaking, then this is like a potentially 2nd place team, I think, but their roster will hold them back at the end. I have some questions about things being filled on like higher SRs for this team, and in general, a lot of my argument hinges on Punkisteria performing at their best. And I think the top 2 teams will edge France out based on just those factors at the end. But this team is potentially great if everything works out. Yeah.
All right. So I have a few things to say about France. I am about to hit the craziest rage bait of all time, and let me explain my reasoning. Right?
Oh my God, is he gonna do it?
I was going through the predictions, and I was suddenly filled with nationalistic pride and spirit. And I told myself, I do not want to lose to France again. I refuse. We got double eliminated by them last year. I refuse to let that happen again. I think France is objectively a significantly better team than our team is. Like, if you just go player by player, their high end is better.
Yo, green CK.
Uh,
He lied so hard he disappeared.
what?
I think your phone swapped directions.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, that's what happened. Oh, that's
Oh
what
my
happened.
god.
Give me a second to fix that.
Production value, trust,
They did
production
not let him
value.
finish. They did not let him finish, bro. They took
I'm the
him
French
out.
assassin.
I
The
thought-
French assassin after him.
I'll
God,
about
God smite this man.
Imagine after 6 comes back, he's like, and so that's why I placed them. And so that's why I placed them 13 to 16. Then he just doesn't explain.
No, I'll finish about France. So, basically, I think they are slightly weaker than the teams I have in the top 3. And I think I can see like a 10% chance of us beating them. So that is what I'm going with. But this
I like
is the
that.
highest.
Okay.
I went with this placement because this is the highest conceivable placement for Sweden. So I'm putting France 5th to 6th.
No. What are we doing? Gamilli,
Dude, and I thought me having at the beginning 56 was crazy, man. Jesus.
Okay. Also, my phone died.
Oh.
Oh, interesting.
Hamster.
I had it.
I'm sorry.
I had it being charged, and the charger went out of the phone.
Oh.
Man.
Dude,
Mods
disaster.
hamster him.
Anyway, I think they have some really, really good players, like especially Juju, Punkisteria, and Louis D are incredible at their skill sets, and I think Mikado Legato has also improved a ton. I think this team could go as high as like winning the tournament, but like I'm rage baiting a little bit.
Guys, this team, like I can't even lie. If there was ever a year to be a French fan and forgive them for all their crimes, this is the year that I'm doing it, bro. I'm sorry, this roster is fucking goated, dude. I love this roster is insane. This roster is just insane. Like I'm looking at everyone on this roster, and it's just a star-studded roster through and through. I think not much more needs to be said. Apart from the fact that I am salty that Louis D, put me in my place. But when all is said and all is done, there is only one team that I think beats this. And for that reason, I'm gonna put them second. I'm gonna be that gangster right here.
Let's
I'm gonna put them
go.
second.
Let's
That's
go.
right.
But it's
I
not gonna be
believe
second
in
anyway.
France.
Holy
I believe in
Fuck,
France.
man.
Yo, no, me too. But I think based of the average voting, it's gonna be like third. I feel like, right?
I
It's
think
it.
Right,
It's
guys.
fucked.
That means I'm right.
That means he's right.
Tim is right.
interesting.
Chatting.
Interesting.
Chat. Tim is right.
Wait, hold
I
on.
mean-
Let me just up the average real quick. I got that. All right,
Oh,
second.
okay,
Look at
blood.
that.
all right, amazing.
What is this blood doing?
I mean, I think we
Right.
can pretty safely place them third.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that-
it's
that works with me.
it's about if they make it from losers bracket into grand finals weekend or not.
It's just me doing a bit of trolling.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Surely a bit of trolling and not what I had before
Yeah,
the stream.
that was enough for our beloved France. And you know what?
We have the next discussion coming up right now.
back
Oh,
to back, we
this one is
have
bigger
Team
though.
Germany, guys.
Big.
Very
This one is a
big.
lot bigger though.
That's very big. Well, Tangela will be able to give you like a trip down memory lane, but before that, like a couple of
Oh,
words
shit,
to
I
say.
forgot to-
Yeah, a lot of changes. Lost Jaden, lost Eula Food Injury, lost TPLC, and this one might be a really big downgrade in my personal subjective opinion. Of course, you have Theo. Theo line is really strong as a player, improved in 5WC as well. But even considering they got a lot of the new blooded players from, I believe, 5WC minor league. These are being Musubi, Mati, Cax, and Yao that I am familiar with actually. I think even in a combination of this, it will be really tough for Germany to actually keep the pace with the countries that we have this year around. So if it comes to the question if whether they will beat France or not, I'm really sorry, Tim. Do not send threats to me, but I will have to put down a top 4.
I think I'm gonna drop a bombshell right now because obviously
Hating,
uh,
hating.
it's not hating. It's a matter of considering last year's Gemini roster was unbeatable almost. Like they had moments in matches where they looked like an absolute just train, just going at full speed, not stopping for anything in their way. And in grand finals, while they did have a bit of a struggle against France, they were pretty strong throughout the whole match. Like the maps they won really really strongly. And I'm speaking about the later stages already. Like it's already gonna happen, but it's pretty much decided that they're gonna make the later stages. Unfortunately, it's not going to be as late as last year because the roster change, I feel like this year is going to hinder them quite a bit. And I think the rosters above are going to do such a good job this year. So for me, the bombshell drops is a 5th to 6th for me.
I think this is actually kind of matchup dependent. I have a lot of high opinions on a lot of the new players here. Like Yi Yao, for example, is very consistent and just will sort of act as a backbone for this team in terms of skill sets, playing almost everything. A lot of the newer players are actually like grinding really hard. So there's a lot of motivation, a lot from the newer players, not so much from some of the older players, I think. But Monkey Chiro is returning for Germany in international tournaments, which Monkey Chiro was missing last year, for example. Returning from, I think 2023 was the last time, or 24. Monkey Chiro is actually also a really incredible player who will be like the mechanics core, sort of was what Yola Foot Enjoyer would have acted as last time, just with less tapping. What I think this team will excel at is the later stages, especially. I think there might be issues with some of the players' consistency in earlier stages, but they will make it past those anyway, I think. And I do have this team scaling above France on the later stages. So if this team meets France in a finals pool, I think this team would win. That is why I have Germany second. I really weighed out the opinions on like the higher placing teams in the end, and Germany second is what my totally non-biased opinion as a German ended up being.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I am not on this team, so they didn't win. But I can blame the rework for that, to be honest. Yeah, I have pretty high opinions on some of the players. Like Musubi just got 2 badges very recently. One of those was like in international, or not international, I guess in a draft in open rank. Monkey Chiro shares one of those. I think these are pretty active, pretty great players at their peak, and the scaling in this team is really, really good on almost all of the players.
Yeah, I think if you were on the team, I would have put them first as well.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I'm back, by the way. I charged my phone.
Hi,
No longer Hunter. Unfortunate.
The amount of rebuilding this team has gone through is insane. Like getting Yi Yao, Kex, Monkey Chiro, the King back into range, Mati, like all of their improvements have been crazy this year. I think this was like where I went, okay, how hard am I allowed to cope? Are we allowed to have a chance of beating this team? And I think Germany is where I stopped and like, okay, yeah, I cannot see a world in which Sweden is beating Germany. So I'm putting them third. I have 2 teams above them. One of them seems to be a team that pretty much no one here has as high as I do, but we will see if I'm wrong about that.
There's a lot of teams we have different.
Hey.
Yeah,
You're gonna get pinged in a few Twitch chats.
oh dear.
The assassins called me earlier, by the way. That's why I had to go. The German assassins were at my door demanding I change the placement.
Carson at your door.
I'm currently torn between 4th and 5th to 6th. All right, look.
Yeah,
Let's all be honest. All right, you look at the German roster on the left side, and my timbers are shivered, bro. We got TPLC and young PPLC. We got Dash Jaden, fucking 6WC generational fear mongering guy, and got freaking eating rocks. Eula Foot Enjoyer. Last year's roster was. Wait, I can't say that. Last year's roster was really, really good.
What was bro gonna say?
Really good. And this 2026 roster
What was
pulls
bro
out
gonna say?
nothing. This 26 roster doesn't have any repeats. And I know, like, Germany is a very big country. They have a lot of power. And improvements from the players, yada, 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 has been going really, really hard. But do I think they go past France? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's why I'm torn between 4th and 5th to 6th. I think a lot of what this roster is, a lot that this roster needs to deal with next year is living up to the expectations that the the Germans of old, or the German roster of old, set before them. And it's a very, very high bar to master through. And if they can't get through it, that's where I think they will falter. Personally, just to sort of find the middle line between all 5 of us here, I'm gonna put them 4th, but deep in my heart, I can definitely see 1 or 2 countries taking that 4th spot from them, because as much as I hate it, I don't know if they make 3rd. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I think, we got a board full of different votes, so
Germany, man.
Germany.
So, okay, I think this one's gonna be really hard to place because how many people here have them above France or below France?
You and
I have them below.
Siggy and Tim. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So then,
My placing was basically just, do I think they beat France in like a high star rating pool?
I
And,
see, I
yeah,
see.
that's why I have them 2nd.
okay,
I had
so,
France 3rd, so
Yeah,
I think we
these
could do
teams-
4th. I think we could do 4th.
Yeah,
to be
3
fair.
people having them above or below France means they go 4th. I think these teams are incredibly close.
yeah,
No,
this
it's
is.
for
I
sure,
think this
for
team
sure.
is an experiment for sure. Like there are some situations where I think players are clear down or are upgrades, but a lot of unproven gears in the machine.
Yes.
And,
100%.
Some interesting replacements like Mira and Musubi are basically just a 1-to-1 replacement, but Musubi is arguably better in like a tournament setting. So that kind of stuff where we have yet to see how it actually works out, but I think this team has a lot of potential.
Yeah, and one last thing to note, right? The beauty of a World Cup style tournament is that nerves become a very big play. And there's a lot of pressure on this German roster, and considering that this is an entirely blank slate, you can talk about how good they are, but when it comes down to it, at the tippy top where competition is very, very stiff, sometimes mental is gonna be the deciding factor. And I think 4th place is a good place to set Germany down for now.
I do agree with this. So, oh my god, no, these 2 countries were such nerve-wracking moments. But yeah,
And they're back to back,
finally-
which doesn't help.
Yeah,
Chill,
back
let's
to
go back to
every-
chill. Let's go back to chill. Come on.
yeah,
Yeah,
let's
we
go
have,
into
we
chill.
have a couple
Let's
chill
go.
countries. We have 3 chill countries, and then we get back into.
Dude, every
Horrible
prediction
thing.
stream starts with like
We have
8
Greece. We have Greece here.
8
Where is
pretty.
Jack Patch?
Where's-
Where's
Oh,
JPEGs? Where's Puyo?
Oh my god,
yeah,
we're not in roster.
no.
Where's young
Disqualified.
TPLC?
Phew, I mean, look,
Get Key on
paper,
board.
I don't know. On paper, Greece looks 2 times the NQ, not really promising, but they were top 36 in 5WC qual, so they were pretty close in qualifying, I would say. And Data Vortex was the guy who carried Team Greece back in the qualifiers for 5WC, and he is here right now, getting even more wisdom and experience in the 5-digit scene. Ooh, so this one's gonna be hard to place. They did save a lot of their 5WC roster players, and if I were to choose, I would put them at top 13, top 16. But guess what? We already have them filled.
I mean,
So honestly,
I
yeah,
don't
mean,
think they're entering that top 4.
The loss on the copium here is strong, man.
You can
The
still
13 to
that's-
16 is crazy, man. I don't think.
you
what
can
are
still
we
put them
doing?
13,
No,
16,
ain't
but
no way, guys.
3 people have already put them DNQ, so no matter what, they go into DNQ.
This is aura. This is aura.
I screw
Oh.
this. Okay,
This
let's
is
go.
Aura.
Cinema.
Oh, guys, is the room burning?
Euro
Holy shit.
2004 vibes, bro. What is this? What do you mean? Holy.
The most educated guess, but yeah, no. It looks like DNQ it is.
Yeah.
It's an unfortunate
That's it.
situation for Greece where they have potential with Data Vortex, but I feel like they just the more we go along the roster, the more grim it seems for them. And considering the rosters above them is just looking really hard for them to qualify. And it's not a question of their quality; it's again a question of the quality above them. And considering there's rosters like Austria, Benelux, Denmark, and Finland that are on the edge of being barely in Swiss stage, Greece is not making it.
Oh man, yeah, no. So you hate to see that, but unfortunately, we have to move on from Greece, from my favorite country. But yeah,
Unless anyone
next
wants
one.
to add something.
unless
Shout out Data Vortex.
let's go.
For real, shout out
Shout out
Data
Data
Vortex.
All right, next one is going to be Hungary. This time, even having less people actually in the team. It's only 5, and I believe for Hungary it's just the question of numbers. They had the least players signed up for 5-digit European Cup. They did not qualify in 5WC, though they did manage to save Hirvat, Hyber, and Sploy. They all participated in quals over there, but it's just gonna be pretty much the same situation with Greece, so I'm putting them at first. Anyway, you go, guys.
Bro, what? we cannot clip farm. Hello, what is this? Stop.
My fault, no.
Again, I think it's the same situation that it was for which roster was it? Oh, I forgot. There was a roster that also Bulgaria. I think it's the same situation in Bulgaria where they had really rough qualifying last year in 5EC and they're only losing players, so it's only gonna be worse for them. So I feel like Hungary is just gonna go a bit down. And last year they already placed pretty low. They placed 24th out of 26, so I don't think it's looking likely.
Yeah.
Your
So, no,
song running.
Yeah. I believe there is nothing else to add up to this fact.
Maybe. I think Tim wanted to say something.
Oh, really? Oh, my fault.
I said we have a nice song running right now. That's my comment.
Oh,
I
Sure.
can't really add anything. I think none of these partial rosters will have a huge chance. The player base is just not there for those countries.
yeah. And they didn't, and unfortunately, it's were the case where they had a team size of 4, and they were not eligible for merges because we only merged this year around. We didn't do the predetermined merges with countries that have minimum 4 players. I don't know if that was noticeable, because the consensus was if they have a minimum team size, they can play, and it was more about allowing more countries to play rather than having bigger rosters for the merges. Like the Baltics last year, where they actually had to play tryouts, which was a bit of a oof. And some players didn't get to play because of that.
Yeah, I see. So yeah, I believe this is pretty much one-sided. It's gonna be DNQ. So we'll see how this goes. And the next one is going to be the country of Ireland. Last time not having the lineup. To be fair, they played for the United Kingdom last year.
It was only one player, and it was Rubik.
And it was Rubik, and guess what? No Rubik this time around, who was the most experienced, the strongest tournament player that Ireland had in this particular rank range. They still do have Pashart, Kur, and KST Bad. They played 5WC, and if you've been participating in those 5-digit tourneys, these names should definitely ring a bell. But other than that, new people, I wish all the best to them, but in my personal opinion, it's gonna be a DNQ here, but
Yeah, it's again one of those teams. I did have them as 13-16 in my predictions because even though last year they didn't have a roster, and obviously the only player that was like amazingly talented in this rank range for Ireland, which was Rubik, this year is not participating. They do have a full roster with some notable names. So I felt like they could have made the 15-16 to 13-16, but yeah. unfortunately, looking at the 4 rosters we have there, they're not beating them. So I have to change my prediction, and unfortunately, I have to lower them to D and Q, because I don't think. I think the only roster they might have a chance is maybe Finland, but it's gonna be it's gonna be a big ask for Ireland. They need to perform really good on the qualifier pool, and I think it will be pool dependent more than anything.
Yeah, I couldn't really judge this team. I see some older players. I see some players I see in current tournament. I feel like with the teams we have already in 13th to 16th, I feel like I think I had 2 of those not qualifying even. And this Ireland team is also one of those that I think will be left out of the tournament in the qualifier. I think this one more so than the ones we already have in there. Just a big question mark on the roster overall. I feel like I know some players, I see some players, but I don't think the depth is there.
I think this team is really close to qualifying. It was one of the teams I was thinking about putting into qualifying. I know that several of these players played in the scrims with the UK, and they were decently solid. If they had Rubik, they would comfortably qualify and win a match.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
as is, I have them in the 17th or 18th range. I think they are just barely weaker than Finland and Austria.
Nothing more for me to add. I think DNQ is the consensus here, so I think we can
Yeah.
wrap this up.
That's true. That's true. Okay, then let's move on. The next country that we have is actually gonna have a pretty similar situation, in my opinion, as Ireland. If you ask me, because yeah, well, they did perform better in 5UC 2025. Then they did not qualify for 5WC. They got seed 51 over there, which is pretty low. They still do have Poof, who was the carry of Team Italy in 5WC, but it just wasn't enough. Of course, Noob Gaia is coming back as well, and same goes for Rinko. And of course, you have Laura Reeve, the long-standing captain of Team Italy, a very much recognizable figure in the community. And this year, actually, Italy got around 30-something signups, so I believe, statistically speaking, they do have more chances to qualifying this year, even considering the things that happened in 5WC. But just because I'm super uneducated about Italy, I will have to put them at DNQ, and that's gonna be my train of thoughts here.
Italy, for me, it's a roster that's full of surprises. Last year they qualified 10th, quite pretty high up for Italy. Like, I'm pretty sure last year we had them in the lower qualifier range, like around like the bottom of Swiss. But they surprised us quite well with the 10th in qualifiers, and then they managed to just not do that well in Swiss stage and managed to finish 12th to 13th. But overall, I feel like with some of the roster changes now, they should be able to repeat what they did last year and at least qualify. I feel like it's not a completely out of reach guess to say that, hey, they will make it into the at least the Swiss stage, and then maybe in the Swiss stage they'll get a bit gapped by the other teams around them. But I feel like Swiss stage is the minimum that this team could do, and for me it's 13th to 16th.
I actually got a little bit of insight into how the Italian community works, because there was a tournament called Kes Fondo Cup, which was kind of just in a German/Italian hybrid tournament where effectively all the teams ended up being 2 Germans and then adopted 1 Italian in like a Suichi draft.
Okay.
Adopt the Italian Cup. And I did see a lot of those players. I have pretty high opinions of Laura Reeve and Poof. Laura Reeve is kind of restricted to certain skill sets and not like a carry. I think Laura Reeve is very restricted to like technical and hard rock skill sets. And I do have this team qualifying and not qualifying, but like barely out of range. And like the same thing that we said for Ireland, I think applies to this team. But for these players, it's just a lot of roster depth that's missing. I feel like, especially in a qualifier where you don't have bans, you're gonna miss out on some of your. No, you will have to play some of your weaknesses, and those will be counted against you basically. And I think this team will suffer from that a little more. I will say that I have seen Xylem recently play a lot of tournaments, like I think as a lower tier in like some tournaments, tiered tournaments, and I think they played pretty well. But I will still put this team at DNQ overall.
We're getting threats sent at us, guys. Guys, the chat is not really happy about
the Italian mafia is coming after y'all. Y'all are doubters.
I'm honestly surprised by your placements of them. I think they're keeping Lorave, they're keeping Poof, who were definitely two of their best players last year. They also just
Ireland,
nice
jump scare.
No, but the Italy roster, I recognize Minion24. I'm pretty sure I teamed with him back in like 2021.
What the hell?
Which is just a funny thing to remember. And I think just off of how many signups they have, I think they're on like the higher end of 13 to 16th.
Mhm.
I think I put them above Austria and Finland, but still 13, 16.
I think
Tiebreaker.
I think
Oh.
I think we are seeing DNQs here as a group because of how contested 13 to 16th is. Frankly speaking, I think this is a 13 to 16th team. And you know, the only reason why we're thinking or in that sort of DNQ ballpark is because we have 4 field and like it's either up or down. Yeah, I don't think they're 19 to 12. I think they're 13 to 16th, as you mentioned, Sick. I think we should bump someone from 13 to 16 to fit them into that bracket, because fact of the matter is they have returning players that's a lot better than the rest of the teams in DNQ, and it does match up with some of the narratives that are being driven by Austria and Finland, and in fact, you know, probably Denmark as well. So I think it's either Luxembourg and Belgium or Denmark that moves up here. But do we have a consensus on doing that?
I agree, but I think we put them 13, 16th first, and then we move countries after the tier list is done.
Sure thing.
I think we can.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's better. But I think
have
both
5
ideas.
countries.
We can let both ideas of
how?
either moving Denmark up or moving like Finland or Benelux down. We can let those ideas marinate a little, probably. Like I think both of those might be reasonable.
True. Wait, where do we want to put Italy now then?
Just put them next to the tier.
Oh, we can do that. Oh wait.
Put them first. Put them first.
Expand the bracket, bro.
Extend this.
Wait, I got this. Oh. No, never mind.
This is what they meant when they said Little Italy, bro.
Is this how we do it?
All right,
Is
clean.
this how we do it?
Mamma mia, bro.
Oh my god.
No, okay, we will have to think about it. But
I almost deleted my name by accident on the sheet. Ignore that.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna put
This is terrible. This is quite terrible, guys. This is not good.
What the hell is that?
there you go. Italy can
This
sit down
is the smallest hello.
Italy can sit down there. Alright. There's just a lot of Italy all over the screen.
Does it even show? It does show. I'm gonna delete it from
It does,
13 to 16 though, because there's now 2
Every
Italy's.
cell has to be Italy.
Okay.
Also, you put it on the main. It's fine. We can move it later.
All right.
Yeah,
all right
production
then.
value or something like that. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Move the square, by the way, please. I beg.
Yep. Next
Oh.
up, we got the country. We got the country, guys.
Ugh.
We got a country, and well, if I say what I want to think, you guys will maybe call me
Who the
crazy.
hell is Emo 4K Pro?
Yeah, guys, it's a trick question. We all very well know who Emochka Pro is. But yeah, looking at Kazakhstan last time, they were the dark horses in the tournament, get into finals, to almost get into top 3, but was slightly not enough. They still have their glorious captain, Hami. They have, of course, an Emochka Pro. These three are very experienced tourney players and also do stuff in other tournaments. But not only that, they had a couple of changes. They lost Depressive. Even though they lost Depressive,
The
there is
huge
a
W.
person- There is a person that I
Oh,
need
the
you
person, my God.
to look at, and the guy is Poisonous. Well, now,
Ooh.
if you wonder who Poisonous is, well, first of all, I am freaking terrified of this guy. I played against this guy like 2 years ago in
What?
in a tournament on a stream, and it was one hell of a public execution. So yeah, Poison is super strong as a player. I got swept, I think. I don't remember. But yeah, not the best memories. And he's been a very strong player from like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and now making his comeback in the Kazakh roster, as well as Offrain, his long-standing mate. So Offrain and Poisonous are super strong additions to the Kazakhstan roster alongside Hami, Emochka, and of course, I am not so much educated about Tide, Ice Secret Cube, and Perun, but these three, considering Kazakhstan getting a lot of signups, I believe they know what they are doing with the roster. So, really interesting opinion here, but I'm putting Kazakhstan in top
God.
2.
What?
That's it.
What?
That's it, guys. That's it, guys.
Whoa, the bias, the Slavic bias
So
is
we are
crazy.
just
What?
trolling. So we are just trolling. So we are just
Nah, man. Okay, and I thought I was gonna be controversial for where I was gonna place them. I think that's more controversial because I'm placing them a lot lower than people might think. Because I feel like this year the quality
Okay.
has went up while their quality is also really good. I feel like this Swiss stage is gonna be a massacre for every team that we expect to do well. And I feel like Kazakhstan is gonna be a victim this year because they lost a pretty substantial amount of players that might be good. As much as they gained a couple, they also lost a couple. So I was debating if I should take hate from the Kazakhstan community for the rest of my life or not. And I said, fuck it, we ball. And unfortunately, the team that will be taking the bullet in Swiss stage for me is going to be Kazakhstan, finishing bottom of Swiss stage for me.
Whoa!
Holy shit.
Yo, that's
okay,
crazy.
so guys, we are just trolling. So we are actually just trolling. So what are these predictions?
Yeah, we're
So
just
what-
throwing around stuff.
The document is being
We're just-
written as we
we're just
speak.
saying shit now, we're
Most
just saying
non-serious
shit.
tournament ever.
We're just saying shit.
Fuck it,
In
we
a
ball,
similar
we
way,
ball.
I also, for me, Kazakhstan was also kind of the team that got moved down once I decided how I kind of wanted to structure the list. I have Kazakhstan at 9 to 12 though. I originally thought of them a little higher, but I really thought about it. I think Poisonous is a great addition to this roster, but how Poisonous usually works in rosters is that he's like a fill all-rounder almost, where you can really base like a team around him in terms of skill sets, and he will almost play any map. But the scaling ends pretty quickly, except on some of the aim maps from my experience. And I think they might win one more match than this placing, but I sort of moved them down a little in favor of other teams. I think this team is overall pretty good. And I wouldn't be surprised if they win one more match and make it out one placing higher than this. But I think they average out at 9 to 12.
I have pretty much the exact same view as you, actually. I have Kazakhstan at specifically 9th place. I think they are clearly the best out of the 9th through 12th place teams. But just discussing the roster a bit, they replaced 5 of their players, several of which were in their core roster, notably Histon, who I think was a minimum top 10 player of last year's tournament. I think Poisonous is really, really good. Could replace the role Histon had, and then we have 4 new players. I was just told that Offrain is good. I haven't seen him, and the others are complete unknowns to me. It is just barely not enough to put them in top 8, there's one team I have in top 8 who I was going back and forth with. Netherlands and Kazakhstan. I accidentally spoiled that, but you know, it is what it is.
Wow,
Okay.
thanks, man.
No,
Guys, sorry.
no
Okay,
spoiler.
just to round everything off, I think I'm sort of sitting on the fence of 7th to 8th and 9th to 12th here. The second is second and 13th to 16th is just diabolical. I'm sorry. But okay.
At least they can make an argument about
did
like
this
what is
happen?
Felixson gonna say about his hello?
All right. So I the reason why I don't have them 9th to 12th for me is because of their previous performance last year. Like 5th to 6th stuff is just mind numbing, and so for that reason, I think, you know, I'm just kind of believing. I'm just going with the flow, and I'm going to rank them slightly higher than I think the consensus is, and I think that's fair, but. I think 9th to 12th is what we've kind of agreed on.
Yeah, yep. All right. I
Yeah.
see how it is. I see how it
think-
is.
I still do
My
think
fault.
though. This is the contested one. This one, it's either 8th or
Yeah.
9th. You know,
Sort of
Yeah,
the-
either
they
8th or
did,
9th.
they
I
did have a
agree.
dark horse run like last year, like Kazakhstan, like the last
And
year.
get second. Yeah, my
Last
bad.
year they just decided to fuck it with ball and destroy France, and then go on to face Sweden in semifinals, which was the
Alright.
craziest match of the whole tournament, in my opinion.
That
But
much.
yeah,
I'm sure Sigurd
Uh,
remembers.
I have some thoughts on that match. I think
oh my god,
Yeah, fine.
I
cinema
have some
match,
fun
one of
on
the
that
few
match.
cinema matches from last year, and it's that one for me.
Yeah. Maybe it will repeat. Who knows? But yeah, the next one that we have is going to be Team Latvia.
Finally,
Yeah,
like
this one is chill. Yep.
Add an hour to Misha, and we're talking.
Yeah. it's-
Yeah. So yeah, gonna be thank you for me because considering the 5WC performance,
Every
wait,
time.
I did not. Oh,
Guys, this
I didn't know he was chill like that. Yeah,
Team thinks otherwise. Team thinks Misha will carry.
You know, in 5WC they had a full roster and still were really far from qualifying. This time only having 5 players. Initially was 6, but the captain I believe got screened out, which is also really unfortunate because it's another team that didn't have even the full roster, but they got a player just completely removed from their lineup, which is gonna make their life significantly harder in qualifiers. So I believe there is not much to add
hey,
up.
they have a roster this year. That's great.
How did 2 6-man roster have their captain greened out? How did that happen?
Especially
Yeah,
the captain. Like, how is the most trusted person from that
Hey.
country the one that gets thrown out?
We had a
I don't
discussion when
know.
that happened. Like the odds for that are kind of crazy, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, Latvia
Exactly.
bit the bullet as Bulgaria did. So yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So there we go, guys. Please keep in mind we still need to put Italy somewhere, but yeah, that's for later.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
Italy
have
is
time, we
everywhere.
have-
Every
we have
every
time.
set is Italy.
Yeah.
Italy's in our hearts. That's where it matters.
Guys, scream if you love this one.
Scream if you love Italy.
Boom! It is Lithuania.
love this one.
Got it. Gamili got it. Oh, and this is gonna be really okay. Maybe not that interesting to talk about.
The interesting question.
No, it's like they keep trying
Interesting
for 5TC and 5WC, and they have NKZ, they have OGs, they have Aomix, Argis, like in surfing. Those 4 they tried in 5WC, but they did not end up really qualifying for it. They were pretty far away from being at least seed 32. And they still do have these people. I believe they have improved and they got some new players. But frankly speaking, I do not think it's gonna be enough to qualify. Unfortunately, they do have Bad Apple though. Shout outs to this
Yo,
guy.
isn't this my pre-Tony event?
Yeah,
what the
that's
hell?
right.
6:30.
This is the one.
It's unfortunate. This year at least they have a roster. Last year they had like only 2 people representing them in the Baltic, so it's nice to see them going from that to full roster. So shout out to Lithuania. That's about all I have to say about this. I think it's pretty obvious about the rest.
Oh man.
I think it's like in a situation where some of these rosters that, or some of the countries that now have full rosters could be in like an arms race to qualify, but like the other teams were just faster. Like having a full roster is a good baseline, especially for like a country with a not as large player base as Lithuania, but I think the other countries just improved a lot more. Some new countries joined that individually have more players. So Lithuania is, despite now having a full roster, just losing out overall, I would say. Especially because the Baltic team before just wasn't enough either. And that was kind of the best part of those countries combined, or should have been.
Yeah, and it had a couple of good names, as we mentioned earlier with Evil Gaming. So if that team does not make it, I don't know if this one is
Yep.
not gonna make it either.
Yeah, no, I agree with this one. So yeah, I believe let's get to the next one, which is gonna be pretty interesting to look at. Look at that. You have Netherlands.
Yes,
Oh.
invest.
That's right.
Invest.
That's right. That's right. This is the one that Siga, I believe, already gave you his own opinion, the spoiler that we have received. And I quite frankly agree with it, because if you look at the lineup, you have Simifly, Heavy Metal for Life, and Devrimon. They are really good core players in the Netherlands, been performing really well in 5WC and 5EC. Last time they have Nick for the support as well. And not only that, they have new players, but that is up until you dig down. Like, they have Synchrostar, but you know, Synchrostar is actually not a new player at all. The guy had 3 badges from the past, and now he is coming back to perform in 5EC. And there is also Unveiled Golem, who you did not see last time, but little fact about this guy that they got top 3 in 5WC 2023. So yeah, you have a lot of players who are coming back, and I'm just all in to see what they have for us in store. So I will be on Siga's side here. I will do 7th to 8th.
Man, how many things I have to say about Netherlands, man? I have a lot. Last year in 5EC, I think they were my biggest disappointment ever as a team overall. Everyone was betting on them making it out of Swiss stage, and they were quite favorites to get out of Swiss stage, and they quite heavily and just frankly dropped the ball. And they even lost to Denmark, who right now we have as 13 to 16. So even ignoring the Denmark incident, I still feel like they dropped quite heavy the ball considering the roster they had last year. And going into this year, they keep a lot of the players, and they obviously come a lot stronger with a lot more hopes. And for the first time, I think we will all agree on something, and we'll put them at 7th to 8th.
No way.
Yo, how are you doing, guys?
Bro, that's my goat. Dab me up, bro. Dab me up. Holy, that's my goat. That's my goat.
For me, it like for basically the same reasons. They have their mainstay players from last time. I think Heavy Metal is a greatly improved player overall, especially in terms of like well-roundedness. Recently been playing pretty good, even in higher rank ranges. Simify is like, I think he was a little rusty for a while now, and my rating is kind of based on those players derusting. Like, Nick is never derusted. Simifly recently has been pretty rusted. I think if those players derust, then I absolutely see them in this 5 to 6 range. And even their quote-unquote newcomers are just very old-time players that are coming back in some way to the roster, and the experience should just be there for Synchrostar and Unveiled Golem both. So if those derusts happen where they need to, then I think this is one of the better teams in the tournament overall. Like, I don't think they're getting any higher than this. This is like their highest potential placing. I think top 4 beats them out in almost every way, but they are just the top of the other teams, in my opinion, or among the top of the other teams.
I just realized that Netherlands wasn't the team that I was uncertain if they placed 7th, 8th, or 9th to 12th. It was the team that I was certain would be top 7. It's a different team that I
Oh, okay.
should have spoiled. But anywho,
So he didn't. He just lied.
Accidentally, yeah. Looking at this team, I
Oh.
think their two like real heavy hitters, Simi Fly and Heavy Metal for Life, have both improved considerably. And their third heavy hitter got replaced with a new one. Pochi Nutella has gotten like 10 times better in the last year.
Yeah.
If he was on the roster, they would be like top 3. Like they would be crazy.
Ooh.
But he gets replaced with Golem, who it is a bit uncertain which form of Golem we will get. But like at his peak, he was a core member of the third place Netherlands team that, in my opinion, very well could have placed first, but ended up trolling their late stage matches a little bit.
A little bit.
Sorry.
A little bit.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the remaining players are pretty much equal to what they had in previous years. And I think last year's was, I mean, their loss to Denmark, I think they knew that they were statistically eliminated and they just didn't try. I think that'll happen sometimes. That was kind of just a catastrophic underperformance, which happens sometimes. They just had to bite the bullet of the flaws of the Swiss system at the time. I think they will perform significantly better this year.
Yeah, no. I think 7-8 is tripping because this team, I compare it to Czechia, bro. Netherlands is there. Like it is there for me. It is arguably, if not the most tenured team, I think, in this tournament currently. I mean, you have so much experience going into this roster, right? Elite ball game knowledge from the entire roster. And you know, I don't want to beat around the bush. I'm going to say this is 5-6 purely of the fact that, frankly speaking, I have very, very high hopes for this roster. I was not there for unlucky Netherlands last year, but I think if this team really sets their mind to it, you know, de-rust, you know, shake off all the rust, really prepare for a matchup. Hell, like if they're lucky, Germany, new roster, completely falters when the pressure is up. Netherlands comes in. Like I'm a believer, bro. But you know, I'm not that crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm not that crazy. 56.
Oh, my monitor
it
is
for
way
me.
too bright. It doesn't work. I should have done this.
What I wanted to say is I was actually pondering putting them 5th, 6th at first between us, Sweden and Netherlands, but yeah, I don't know. Then I had to put some
Inevitably.
bias into it, and it's like, yeah, they just got slaughtered into 7-8.
I
Oh my
see.
god, the donations are
yeah.
coming in, man. What? That's crazy.
Okay. Thanks everybody.
We're gonna have to start donor reading. Thank you.
Live though. I will not read the donations on live just because inevitably
Of course.
they will inevitably get banners and we'll post the banners as always. So thank you for your
Obviously.
support.
I
Thanks
think
so
we have
much,
to
guys.
put them 7-8 for now,
Ooh, yeah,
and then
let's do
we see
7-8.
what happens.
I think let's do 7. If there is like a competition for 7-8, we can very well just put Netherlands high up. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Okay then. That makes complete sense. Oof. The next one.
I think as like a conclusion, Netherlands is definitely a team that's like in between those, so it kind of suffers from the ranking system. I think confidently 6th or 7th, despite the. No, I see smiles. No, get this guy out of here.
It was a build-up, bro. I felt it coming.
They are confidently placing among those two very cursed numbers, but it's kind of like a toss-up between those, I would say, as you can see from the rankings.
I agree.
Fair. Agreed. Yeah. All right, then that is gonna be the team of Netherlands. The next one is gonna be Team Norway. And if you
Netherlands.
Back to Netherlands we go. We haven't talked
Back to
enough.
Netherlands.
We love the Netherlands, guys.
We love
the
the
Netherlands.
Netherlands, indeed. Oh, yeah, did not qualify for both of the years. They only had 7 players for 5WC. Now for 5UC though, they have 13, so a bit more, but still, that is not a such a big pool of players to pick from. I know they still do have Bismarck, Laurus, and Martin. Those are the long-standing players for Team Norway, and I do not know that much about the newcomers from Team Norway that we have here. And I can already see a couple of DNQs coming in from Baz and Tim, so I feel like I'm gonna be on the same page here as well. I'm gonna put it at DNQ, so yeah, that's pretty much it from me, Baz.
Premature
enough.
disqualification.
I have nothing to add. I have nothing to add for this one. It's pretty, for me, it's pretty straightforward. There's just too much quality in this tournament, and I feel they will not make a cut.
The two players I do know from this team are Bismarck and Totti, and I think their passion for the game has been waning for quite a while. I think Totti is one of the funniest people I've seen in this game, so I wish him the best. But I don't think they qualify.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think Totti went through the pipeline, like player into host into quitting the game.
Yeah.
So,
Shit,
uh,
Very
I'm
based.
halfway there.
Also, like one of the longer standing players, Utlending, is not here either. I don't know how the form would have been even last year, but definitely not in the roster this time. And yeah, I mean, they didn't qualify last time. I don't think this team is stronger than last time, and the level overall is higher, so it's a DNQ overall, I would say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I believe that's it. I believe that's it. We have the consensus here. Of course, there are doubters in chat. So if Norway actually qualifies, I don't know, bro. I will eat my shoes, but yeah.
No, don't
and
say
I
that.
will be really so. No. Wait.
Don't say that.
Okay.
On
Miles.
video, make sure it's on video, by the way.
Right. So with Norway out of the way, we have a really interesting country, guys. Look at that. We have Poland.
This is. I'm
His-
so ready.
I think this is one of the more controversial ones.
Oh
This is
my
one
god.
of the more
Dude,
controversial.
you have no idea. I'll just let you know. Oh, I'm so ready.
Yeah. No, I did some research as well. Yeah, so obviously they lost the veterans, they lost Squarm, they lost Grozampic Pasta, but not only that, they have still, of course, they have both 3D, they have Optiami, and those are really strong core players of Team Poland. The others are, the others have not participated in neither 5EC or 5WC, but if you take a look, this country is just so unexpected. I literally don't know what's coming from them, because, for example, you have players like Vilumina, and Vilumina, if you take a look at his profile, this guy is an Osu Droid tournament player. Like, I did not even know this is a thing in Osu, that there are tournaments in Osu Droid, but apparently this guy is. So, very, very interesting history of this player. And of course, you have Frodzinski. I believe this guy's previous name was Kores, and he did participate in in Easy WC minor league, getting top 5, top 6. So a really strong gimmick player, and the others like Iron Q, being a decent tourney player as well. With all the others, I believe this roster has a lot of things prepared for us that I just do not see coming. So I would say for safe option, I was thinking between 7th to 8th and 5th to 6th actually. So I would say 5th to 6th. No, you can say I'm crazy, but I'm going to do that.
Man, we'll have again quite opposite opinions. I feel like this roster is it's a bit of a toss-ball from last year. Last year, obviously, they had an absolute crazy roster on paper. But then again, we're talking Squirm, not in his full form. In 5EC, he did not perform as good as he did after 5EC, where he actually started to pop off fully and be even crazy, like just do absolute Squirm things. There's just no way to put it, just Squirm things. And obviously Quartal as well. Losing Quartal is a pretty big hit, but I feel like even without Quartal, they have pretty good chances this year. Poland, a bit different from the 5WC roster. Obviously, funny enough, one of the players that you could see in this 5WC roster would be Kiori if he wasn't in the admin team, but yeah,
man.
Interesting.
Kiori is not here, so still, even with that, it's gonna be a matter if they get skill cap like last year. But for me, this is the big one. I feel like Polska Gorom will prevail, and they will be second this year.
Oh,
Holy shit. Okay.
okay.
I agree. Okay.
I need to pause. Yeah, you said Squarum wasn't quite in his full form, but like, dude, I went through the match costs yesterday. Dude, like the qualifiers, for example, Squarum 1.75. Second was Vorkuta with 1.45. Third was Quartal with 1.15. It's not remotely close. He was the best player in the tournament by several orders of magnitude.
He was the best player in the tournament, and is not to say that he wasn't the best player in the tournament. It's just that after 5EC, he improved even more, which is scary.
Okay, but like that's on these pools, he would go from averaging 800k to 950k. Like it's
pretty much the Malio 5-digit if he was still here.
Yeah. Okay, you can go on, Tim.
Yeah, for me, the looking at the roster on the left is really interesting because I have like a physical reaction to some of those players, especially Squarum, obviously, as like someone who had to live with that guy in 5K for most of this year. Portal, obviously, also now like a really improved, great, well-rounded player who's pretty well known in like higher rank ranges in general. It's interesting that those are missing from the roster, but I don't feel like they are missing so much in like a weird way. I have to explain myself. I have them 7-8. I think this is a safe placing. I have played against Artur Bestia 69 PL, whatever that username is.
Oh, yeah, indeed. Yes, of course.
In 5K tournaments, I think, where they were teaming with Obsjami, if that is how you say the name. And those players are pretty good, especially scaled down to this rank range. And I think this roster should just be well-rounded, and Poland always finds another spawn somewhere, and like always has the player base to be well-rounded. I don't know half of these players, basically. And I didn't really find many resources. Like I didn't go as far as checking, oh, this is a Osujoy tournament player, which is crazy information, by the way. But I do think this team will just from a player base perspective average out 5th to 6th or 7th to 8th. I think those teams we have there for now are basically interchangeable in some ways. Like we have Czechia, we have Netherlands. I personally think both of those and also Sweden would be better than Poland. But I can see why you would have Poland 5th to 6th. I don't see much higher than that, though.
We keep agreeing on a lot of stuff. I'm noticing. Poland was the country I got mixed up for the Netherlands because my list was out of order somehow. My personal one. This team is quite interesting to me. They lost, what were their 3 best players last year? They replaced almost their entire roster. But at the same time, this country has so much depth. Every year they come back with really strong rosters in every single World Cup. It is terrifying. But I was going back and forth between Poland and Kazakhstan. But something that made me think a bit about Poland is that I saw the minor league and I saw that their B team was actually quite stacked. And I'm like, okay, several of these players would make most teams. And I'm like, okay, that means that the Polish players I don't know are just really good. And yeah, I just don't know them. I mean, obviously I know some. I know Artur. I've seen him around. I've seen OP. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry. I've seen Ball 3D and Obred for quite a while, as well as Magblood. That is another blast from the past. This guy was a D ranker in 2019, 2020. I really want to see how he performs. Nonetheless, I've placed Poland very low on both of the 5WC predictions I've been on, and I thought that wouldn't be the case this time, but I suppose it is.
I
thought
think
that
it's
this-
just way safer to place the others above, right?
I would agree. I think this team could do really well, and their floor is really, really high. Like I can't see them placing super low.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, everything that's been said before is kind of what I'm thinking. Yada yada yada, lose big players from the previous roster, but a lot of the newer players seem promising considering you know, the competition that they had to get through to get onto the roster. I think at the end of the day, the 7th to 8th placements, as Tangela said, are safe placements. If we are really ballsy with it, we could definitely go 5th to 6th because, again, with a lot of newer rosters or a lot of new rosters with big roster swaps, we don't exactly know how they perform in a World Cup scenario. And so for that reason, you know, the 7th to 8th seems like a good place, but, you know, 5th to 6th is definitely doable.
Right. So now the question is, do we want to already shift someone or just put Poland in the top 5, top 6? That's the question.
I think the upper half of the list will work out pretty well like this. I think
If
we're
Poland
going
is
to
top
fill
five?
out those slots. If Poland is top 5, I mean, it kind of has to, right?
It
because
kind of
the-
has to.
We can.
We have a safe assumption which other three will be 5 to 6 then in that case, and 1 and 2
Yeah.
are kind of also locked
mean,
in.
I think we have to go with how many people here put Poland above Czechia.
I did. I think like
Two
almost
of us,
everyone.
just two.
I have
Well,
Czechia
actually
above
true.
Poland.
Actually true.
I have
okay.
Czechia 5-6.
Yeah, me too. Gami, where did you put Czechia?
Yeah,
I put Czechia below Poland.
So
Okay.
I'd say
So
Poland above.
that means
Czechia
Poland goes
because-
5-6 then.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
three of us have Poland above Czechia.
Guys,
I think
I have a
that's fine
feeling-
either way.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, that
interchangeable.
works. But I also feel like now we're gonna like enter the zone where we will be actually like having to move countries up and down. So I would actually suggest to finally figure out the thing with Italy beforehand because it will just get too complicated if we do not move them.
We can
So-
do that.
What I would suggest is that, in my opinion, I see how, for example, Belux could get from 9th to 12th. So I would try to shift them up, and then I would put, and then I would put the Italy 13th to 16th.
I mean, we can just check how many people here put Belux above Italy.
I
did.
I did.
But
I
that's
did as
above
well.
Italy for me.
I had Belux 16th and Italy not qualifying, so I guess I have it.
So technically, so technically, it's
I
boring.
think-
So
I
technically
think
it's
this
boring.
means we move Belux up and put Italy 13 to 16.
I would be in favor of moving Denmark up rather than Belux, but maybe just my opinion.
I think we could move both up and then check later.
I think we could try. I think we could try.
Like there are more remaining countries that I would put in 13th to 16th than in 9 to 12, for example.
Yeah, I
That's
think
huge.
Denmark can also move up one. Considering there's not that many left that
Yeah.
are going to be in the upper part, and there's going to be a lot of DNQ. Next one is a DNQ, in my opinion, but
Then
Yeah,
this
it's
is what we
just-
can do.
That's toxic. That's just
Brutal.
toxic.
What the
it's
hell?
it's,
Pre-move,
it's
bro.
when you
Pre-move.
see it, you'll understand. But yeah, it's just
Oh man.
No,
But
I
just-
think I can hear Bez out. I can hear Bez out here.
it's as much as I think we can move on right with the next one.
Yeah,
because-
for sure.
Yeah, let's go.
Like as much as there's history behind this country, there's
Here we
just
go.
not enough history in 5-digit for them to properly make a run for it. There is hope, but just not enough for me. I feel like there's a roster with potential, and it's one of those that could surprise us or could not. It's on the border. It's not as on the border as the other ones, and for me, it's a more clear does not qualify than a couple others I put earlier. So for me, it just does not qualify. Unfortunately, Portugal. Much love, but you just
Oh, yes.
slightly.
No, it's like for Portugal, I know they had an absolutely crazy player putting up stellar performance in 5WC. It was Kenzol getting around top 30 by individuals in, for example, qualifiers, which still did not let them qualify, but they were really close. They got seat 35 in 5WC. But now without Kenzel, their hard carry, it is gonna be really tough for Portugal, especially considering the level of competition in this year's 5 EC. So I'm joining Baz on this one, which seems to be a very rare occurrence, but here we are.
I'm the one who knocks. I'm the one who has the crazy opinions. My bad.
I think in general, Portugal is kind of an interesting country for the game as of now. Like, I think most people were surprised by how well Portugal played in OWC, for example. Like, there's definitely a player base that's growing and developing in some ways, and it's going to trickle down eventually, but I don't think this is the moment where they kind of break through. Like, especially with the amount of real or like full and stacked teams in this tournament going up so much, I think Portugal will, there's probably no way that this team qualifies, but I'm definitely interested to see what they do in the future. Just, it has to trickle down in some way.
Give them 2 or 3 years and they'll qualify pretty comfortably, I think, but this is not their year.
2 or 3 years is kind of crazy.
That's how long it takes to trickle down.
It
That's
is
what I'm saying.
mostly. I mean, they last year they were close. They were 20th. So
That's how long it takes to decay.
Kenzel, come back.
Okay, we can move on.
Yep. Okay then. With that out of the way, we have something that that Baz could talk over and over again.
Oh man.
And here we go. Yep. No, the only thing I know is that Mishifari was the captain for Team Romania, and that's pretty much it. In my opinion, they do qualify, but first, I want to hear Baz go on his speech. Baz was not here, guys. Baz was grabbing some. He was getting.
No. He's stretching, bro. He's stretching.
I have opinions about this country. Before I make my base take, I feel like this roster is, in some ways, they lose a couple of strong players because they lose Ektavi, they lose Haramachi Vlad, Exoni, and Alama Cabra, which unfortunately Alama Cabra in the case, he was like 10, 20 ranks short of being in the rank range, and they would have helped this team quite literally achieve amazing things. Unfortunately, we just have a couple of returning players and a lot of new talent, which last team maybe didn't have enough time to express themselves, but this year they will probably have about as much time as needed for them to express themselves, considering Swiss stage this year is a lot longer and a lot more developed. Thankfully, because the format from last year was a mess, especially with Ukraine. I don't even want to get started, but yeah, this year we also had the regen absolutely out of nowhere of Rainbow Violent deciding to just come
That's
in
my-
and
That's my
literally just appearing in the tryouts and surprising absolutely everyone. Pessy as well has been overall improving technically and reading wise. They're an exceptional gimmick player. And then obviously we have 2 of the more newer faces in Slato and Lememe, where they just kind of just have always been there, always been participating in the tournaments, but never exactly made the teams. Now, however, unfortunately, I have to be biased because it's the country I am from. It's the country I support. Last year, nobody believed they made Swiss stage. They qualified for Swiss stage, and then they made it to 9 to 11th. In 5WC, nobody from the team repeated. The 5EC team was gone. Nobody went to 5WC. But now this year, they're back to repeat greatness. And this year, I feel like they could do better than last year, or at least repeat it. So in my case, I have to at least put them as their placement from last year in 9 to 12.
I see. Yeah. I instantly replied with 13 to 16 because, as mentioned, I do consider the possibility of qualifying. I think they are very much capable of it. So yeah, that's gonna be it from me, since Baz already gave you a rundown of all the players. So I don't think there's much else from me to add up here.
Yeah, I don't have any more specific information either. I do think that Romania should generally qualify for tournaments based on player base alone and just the amount of players. And while this team does not have many like internationally known names, I looked through skill sets a little and I think it's generally covered well. So for like a qualifier setting especially, they should get through.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I looked at this.
I think they are in the lower qualifying scores, by the way. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make it.
Interesting. I had this team as like 17th or 18th. I think the loss of Alla Macabra is a bit too big, and I think they barely don't qualify. I think last year they barely qualified, and then had a really good group stage or Swiss stage.
Yeah, they were seed 16.
Yeah, I think the loss of Alla Macabra makes them barely D and Q. I think Pessi is really good. I've known him as a tournament player for a good while. And I think their captain surprised me last year. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but
Just Mishi.
Mishi. I think he performed really well, but I think it's barely not enough. So I'm putting them D and Q, but I think as a group, we're putting them 13, 16, which is going to be a bit difficult to fit in.
Yeah, it's gonna be 13th, 16th. I think Romania calls. I also have Romania bias just because of Rainbow Violent. That's my goat right there. Everybody invest in this guy right now. All right, that's my goat. But yeah, 13th to 16th for me.
All right. Seems like it. Then best of luck to Romania. And guys. Yo. And before Bez already made his prediction.
Nah, it's for Romania. It's for
That is
Romania.
crazy.
Trust.
That
To
is
be fair,
crazy.
I don't know Rainbow Violent at all. If he turns out to be really
He's
good,
really
then
new.
I'll probably be wrong about Romania. We'll have to see.
Well, yeah. Guys, we all have to think. I believe this is what we all have been waiting for. So we have Russian Federation. They got the highest placement out of all European countries in 5WC, placing from 5th to 6th. And well, I have bad news. They pretty much managed to save their rosters, and the people who they lost, they replaced them with even stronger ones. So of course, you have Mauzarte, the strongest player in Russian Federation, was the carry for them in 5WC, alongside Sound Boomer, who is a really strong gimmick player. Besides that, well, you take a look at Wavy, Frinden, Boriska, and Violence. They all won 5WC 2025 Minor League, absolutely destroying everybody else. And yeah, that they have insane team synergy, insane roster depth, and the only player I am not so familiar with is going to be Raging Dashi. I believe a new tourney player, but besides that, they all are super experienced in tournaments and they know how to deal with nerves. So there is nothing left to do for me. I'm joining everybody and placing them on the first place.
You say everybody. You say everybody, but
keep the glaze going. Let's go. Keep the glaze going.
It has Sweden on one, right?
There is an odd one out, and I think it's here, but. Yeah,
okay. I think first I'm going to talk about how good this team is, because I do agree this team is, on paper, the best team in the tournament. I think Lefrutit has gotten 10 times better this past year. Violence has gotten 10 times better this past year. Waveway has gotten 10 times better this past year. It looked silly when Waveway and Violence got left off of the 5WC team, and then yeah, you saw what they did in minor league. That's
right.
That was brutal. Sound Boomer is going to make this team horrifying on any free mod or any reading map. And then their other players are also really, really solid. Like all of these are, except for Raging Dashi, all of these are perennial tournament players. But Raging Dashi has been on the up recently, and I've seen him perform in tournaments. He's very solid. This team really doesn't have any negatives. But I have one team I have above them. So I'll get to that when we get to that.
When we get to Sweden, but yeah.
I think this team, the main reason why this team ends up being crazy is that they have players that are like at the best, or like among the best players on different skill sets that are also all rounders and are like this team could build two separate cores, I feel like, or like exchange core players and still win in a way. Like Lefrutit is grinding so incredibly hard, like trying and like that's. I feel like you highlighted Miyaosata as the like best player last time. Miyaosata is like the 5th best player on this team.
Yeah,
It's
I think
like
that was. I think that was the
I
case
think-
last year too. I just disagree with Miyaosata being the
Okay.
best player.
I see.
I think this team has many players that are so improved from like their form that they already had last year. And I was commentating the minor league grand finals where Wavy and Violence were just rolling over USB. That was insane to watch, and it was just mostly stemming from those two players. And they play like Wavy doesn't really play everything. Violence and Lefrutit play everything. Like there is no limit to those players, and I think this team can like drop 2 players and probably still be among the best. This like the Raging Dashi. I've looked through the profile for like recent tournaments and qualifier stuff. Like that's just a really good new player who just dropped into this team of like people who we were already assuming could win. Like this team is stupid. I think this team has more redundancy than most teams have players. Just in general.
I do want to like kind of rage bait a little bit, but I'm gonna sprinkle some salt in the wounds and say I think last year's team was just as stacked as this year's team, and then they proceeded to lose to Sweden. Like I think
That's the
that
thing.
He actually has a point though. He's
Yeah,
not
I
wrong.
think-
Wait,
I think that
Loki.
is I think that is the risk that I've been seeing with Russian teams. They kind of just are extremely volatile every country tournament. The Russian Federation.
No, the
is
thing with
volatile.
Russian team is that their C team is usually the strongest team, and their A team is like okay.
Guys,
So
we
I-
scale up the C team.
So yeah, despite being the strongest roster on paper by a considerable margin, I have them second.
I don't know.
Yeah, all right, low key, guys. Let's be so real. There are only 2 reasons why you don't put them number 1. Either you're Delulu or you're from Team
Trolling.
Sweden. All right, so like, okay, like, I too much slander be throwing to my boy Raging Dashi. This guy, Fighter VC C team. By the way, let it be known that I scooped Fighter VC C team when I was in minor league, but Raging Dashi was the only guy putting up consistent fights against a Singapore that was beating them down. Like this guy gets freaking 900k on Zhang Lady. Like that is high in standards of major league. Like are we this guy? And I think the Tangela said something very 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 good. This team has specialists that are also all-rounders. Raging Dashi completely fits that description. He hits Hidden Hard Rock, top scores his team on Hidden Hard Rock, and bam! There goes he top scores on Hidden 2 and the gimmick map. Like, what are we doing? And frankly speaking, this team plays like a roster that only needs to fill 2 players. Like, my bad, G. My bad. My freaking bad. The only reason why this team doesn't get first is because they mental boom and explode. But I swear to God, if that happens, God damn it, 25i. What are you doing, my guy? Anyways, yeah,
Man.
that's my soliloquy.
I want
to
to
Russia.
I want to also note that there were real chances of like Miha playing the tournament. If that guy is derusted, then this is like even dumber, I think. Just for
This
the
is
just-
Germany.
Oh,
this
this
is
thing.
Germany, guys. This is Germany in 2025.
This
I-
is.
I think this is a lot better.
I
Just in
don't,
Yeah.
Yo,
I don't see Mija derusting. That guy is working like 11-hour long days.
Okay, I don't know the personal backgrounds. I just see some scores usually from like 2
You'll see.
months ago when I log in on private servers.
Whatever Sick says,
I
I
mean,
agree
he's-
with. Any kind of
he's-
hate Sick throws, I agree with. By the way.
I mean, Mija's
I
a
don't know.
crazy player and a good friend of mine, but I don't really see him derusting for this tournament.
The hate is real.
there might be surprises. I don't know. I think that Russia should be able to overcome their demons from last year, where they got to bracket stage and they forgot how to play Osuf, and they lost both to Sweden and then UK back to back, where
it,
they
was,
just
it was France.
oh yeah, it was France. Fuck. I forget that France was in loser bracket that early. Do you believe? Because they both lost to Kazakhstan and Sweden in the first, and I was craziest match, man. I cannot believe that bracket still happened. But yeah, it's they both I think they can overcome their demons from last year, and especially with the improvement that all the players had. I think they can only do better from what they did last year. Last year, obviously, they qualified first, but they did not lead to much. But maybe this year will be different, and they will actually
Yeah.
get to finish the qualifying seed.
Yep, hopefully for Russia, with the new approach, they will get back on track. But for now, we can only wish them best of luck and move on to our next country, which is going to be Slovakia. This time making a team, having enough signups. Last time they did play as Czechoslovakia. They had Permsky and they also had Lex Balker. But I do not see them right here in this roster. These were the strongest players. So this is a completely new lineup of players, considering it's only 6 of them. So that's some uncharted territory for all the Slovak players right here. And I am just not sure how this will go for Slovakia. If you ask me, I will unfortunately have to say D and Q here.
Yeah, it's kind of the just the roster that's just not gonna be number one in my heart forever Slovakia, but on actual performance and on everything else, it's just a team that is quite clearly not gonna qualify because they lack the full team size, and in some cases they lack the consistency on some of the pools that might just drag them down instantly into not being able to even contend to be in Swiss stage.
I mean, I kind of, my brain kind of jumped back and forth there. Sorry. So I don't really have many things to add because I don't know many things about this team, to be quite honest. Like, it's another one of those unfilled teams, and I think it's cool that Slovakia has their own roster this time, but they barely made it in like a less stacked tournament as a mixed team, and I think they're just doomed this time. In a similar way that all the smaller player bases are.
Yeah, no, I
6-1
think
team
Oh.
GG.
Yeah, okay. That
Sorry.
First. It's okay.
What I have to say is that Slovakia has the best staff people, I swear.
The
They have
Slovakia
so many,
That's true.
they have
That's
so
my
many
goat.
people staffing. Oh my god.
My goat.
If they had as a goated roster for as many just players playing as they have people staffing, I swear to God, Slovakia would be like
That's true.
number
that's
one
true.
every time. Holy, like Slovakia community goes hard. Just unfortunate that they don't have enough for a bigger team in 5 digits.
Yeah. I wish best of luck to Slovakia. Bro, in fact, I live in Slovakia. Like, come on, guys. I believe in you. If I do, I don't know, bro. I will make a birthday cake, but that's it. Anyway, we still have a couple of more countries. In fact, we have 6 countries left, and the next one is
Pretty
going to
big
be
countries as well.
pretty big countries as well. I had some fun making notes about all of them. And here comes the first one. This is going to be Team Spain. Managing to save their rosters all the way to this iteration of 5DC. I mean, not all the players, but still, I see Isayo, I see Lagman. These are the core players. Same for Fiera as well. In 5WC they got top 32. They got top 32. But the thing about that placement is that they had an absolutely demonical player, and that was Paladax, who was one of the strongest players in the entire 5WC, and now they just do not have this guy. So like, despite losing a super strong carry, I do still think they have what it takes to qualify and maybe to even survive a couple of rounds of Swiss stage. So we have that spot in 9th to 12 that is still open, and because I just don't want to shift countries, I believe 9th to 12 is gonna actually be pretty fitting for them. So
It's it's a roster that has definitely suffered big losses in the case of 3 players that I have to mention. Ron Paladix and Mark. In my opinion, those 3 players are exceptional right now, but unfortunately they just kind of, yeah, we all know what happened to them. But losing them is definitely also allowing them to bring new additions to this. They obviously keep a lot of the players. They get new faces, and with the 5-digit tournament they hosted recently, we managed to see a bit of happier rivalries for Spain. They definitely have high hopes going into this, and as a person who lives in Spain, I have to obviously support the Spanish quite heavily. I had them quite high when I started making this list. I had really big hopes for them, but then I started comparing players and past performances, and it kind of came down to can you see them at their peak performing this way or not? And in the end, for me, they couldn't make it as high as them, so I dropped them quite a lot. But they're still quite high for me. I still think they could definitely make bracket stage, and if they don't instantly get destroyed in bracket stage like happened last time, I feel like they could also win a couple matches there. So for me, it's 5-6 for Spain.
Okay.
Holy.
Okay.
I have played a tournament this year with Fiera and another Spanish player, EDN, who's not on this team. I have pretty high opinions of some of the Spanish players. I do think that the Paladex ranking up and also almost quitting the game for now, I think, is just a nuclear bomb that this team can't really recover from. I think the remaining players are well-rounded enough to potentially win a match, but this is definitely, I feel like 9 to 12 for me is already a quite high ranking. I think they can win a match. I think they are more likely to than the teams below them, except maybe Austria, I think. But I'm not super positive they will. Like it's a in-between thing for me, like 12th to 13th, I feel like.
Yeah,
overall.
I had them specifically 13th because I have, two different lists, one with the Swiss placements, and I have them winning a match, but being the weakest out of the teams that win a match. So I'm going to have to put them 13 to 16, but I think we can slot them into 9 to 12.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that works. Gamili? Anything?
Yeah, 9 to 12 for me. I think, despite the hits that Spain has taken through and through, they still have people that are in. They still have returning players of experience, and even so, it's not like their new players are, it's not like their new players are bad by any extent of the word. So I am going to, tunnel vision in the 9th and 12th to sort of finish that sort of that ballpark for Spain. Nothing much more to add for me.
Oh, I understand that Spain also always had some issues with getting their players motivated and getting them to play sometimes even. So if things work out, I think my ranking is almost more, or our ranking, I guess, is more for when the team works out. I think there's a potential that this team bombs out in some other ways. I do hope they can get that sorted out though, because Spain has a lot of potential as a country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with this one. No, it seems like we're just ranking teams based on their skill on paper. Like we do not really consider the mental state that they might be getting in the tournament. So everyone who's watching, you need to keep that in mind. So yeah, this is how like the perfect conditions would look like if they happened in 5EC. But yeah, with this one, I'd like to move to Sweden. Oh well.
I think we should let the person, the man of the hour, we should let them speak before anything.
You have your 5 minutes of yappery. Like, for sure, take everything.
Yeah,
you need,
so
man.
I think this is gonna be an interesting year for us. I think our team is so much more volatile than it was last year. I think we have. I mean, we have one very unproven prospect in Mac Pickle Pounder. What I'm going to say is it always confuses me whenever someone plays 6-digit tournaments, ranks up, and then is immediately good in 5-digit in range. And this guy is just really good in 5-digit range as well. That's always terrifying. And I don't think we're making up the losses of Niesel and Miseroni.
Because we stole them.
Yeah, they
I
barely
stole
ranked
them. I stole them onto the
Um,
staff team. I'm sorry.
I mean, they ranked up, so they could.
Oh yeah, of course.
Um,
I still stole them though.
But like the prospects we have this year are insane. Pompeo Wag, dude, I played EC World Cup minor league with this guy. This guy is just a complete freak on reading. I don't know what to say.
That's a word.
Like, dude, he can just like assess the EC hidden halftime maps. I don't. It doesn't make sense. Face Terry and Girl Liker are two speed players that are joining the roster, which is going to be greatly appreciated. I think Svissa is always great. He's always such a good player to have on your team. He can play everything. He's super flexible, just generally great guy. I think I myself am a big question mark this year. I've been riddled with injuries for a while, and recently my PC has been working worse than it normally is, which is already really bad. I told my team that I'm just not going to be able to join the Discord calls anymore. My PC cannot handle it. So, I hope the team is fine with that. But I think if all pieces go well together, we could go as high as 4th, maybe 3rd. So I'm going to put us 4th.
Oh,
If all pieces go together perfectly, I could see us contesting France or Germany on the finals pool, not the grands pool. And yeah, maybe we could get there. Last year's performance was a fluke of all time, and I don't want to live it down too much, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I think those are a lot of those are the same points I would have noted. I think what has to be stressed about this team is how relevant those same people playing almost every map last time were. Like Mr. Niese and Swizzer playing almost every map were so integral to this team working out, and Micheroni to a degree as well. And now this this team is kind of unproven in a way where it lost a lot of the basis on that what it was based on. Yeah, I would have also noted you as a question mark actually if you didn't do it yourself already, but I do think this team has like a high potential. I have pretty high opinions of Pompejwak and Swizzer and you. Make Pickle Pounder, I don't know too much about. For me, this team was almost like in that we have a conveniently Sweden-shaped hole in our list, and that's basically where I had it.
Okay. Yeah, at least 56. At least 56.
That's basically exactly the opinion I had on it before. I think Sweden is probably like a top 5 in competition with basically all of the other countries around it there. But I think there's almost no way for Sweden to go higher, in my opinion. I think Sweden, the last year already was like a country that really decreased in power as soon as the scaling really hit, because you were so reliant on those all-rounders and just working around those. I think if you had like Mr. Niese, especially after the recent grind, then this country would be really, really good. But I think there's like a hole in the team that I need to be convinced can be filled.
It's crazy. We just get one spawn per year, and if they stick around for more than 1 year, we would place like top 3 every year. It's so insane.
You gotta keep them. You gotta keep them in the rank range next time.
At least you get spawns.
Mr. Niese is so crazy now.
We just get multi-share in Singapore. Like,
no, we got Light Fox and then Ville and then Mr. Niesel, and now we got
Y'all get players. What? That's crazy.
Every year, one spawn.
I think we've been a bit talking a bit too much on Sweden. So Bazgami,
there's a lot to say about this team because there's a lot to be proven considering last year's performance. Yeah, let's say it was a fluke, but it was a good performance overall. They were like highly helped by the fact that they had to face a weaker side in Kazakhstan in semifinals, which helped them push easier into finals. But they still performed really, really good, even considering that. So it's just a matter going into this year. Can they truly repeat what they? I know they're gonna make bracket stage 100%. That's not a doubt in my mind. But for me, I don't know how far can they make it into bracket stage. And considering how I placed the other teams, there's kind of like teams I had to place lower. I already placed Netherlands in 7 to 8 for me, and for me this would be the other team that I have to place in 7 to 8 for my full list to make
Okay.
sense. I know they can do a lot better, but I'm just not 100% sure on the new players. Like I have absolutely zero clue about the new players and how can they perform. And if they perform good, they could get top 3 again. Who knows?
Yeah, no, I think Sweden has kind of been beaten to death here. Me personally, I see a lot of my old Tony performances in Sweden this year, and so for that reason, I'm actually going to sit with Sige here at 4th. Yeah. I've been convinced.
Right.
I've been convinced by Sig. So I think 56.
I think 56 is the way here.
It's the Sweden shaped hole as
Is this
been mentioned.
shaped hole? Yeah.
Yeah,
it
I'm
did very
surprised
well.
someone. I'm surprised I was able to sway someone. I'm not convinced myself, but
I see it. I see.
He sees the vision. He sees the vision.
If I didn't place certain teams higher, Sweden would be higher on my list, but I value the other teams' performance and how they will do a bit higher than Sweden because I just don't know that much about Sweden and I know a lot more about the others. That's just the reason I placed them at this low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Oof. And well, we have one more country that the discussion about is not going to be that problematic, which is going to be Switzerland. But after that, there's
gonna be-
there's going
there's
to be
four
It's gonna get
spicy
juicy.
ones in a row at the
Yeah.
end.
Oh.
What the hell?
It's gonna end on
Yeah.
spiciness because
There's-
those
there's
are
three.
those are the last.
Yup,
Those are the
yup.
last three.
This is my bias. This is my bias right here. First, this is my bias. I love Mirage Fire.
okay, Mirage Fire. Where are you in this roster? But yeah.
Zakatel.
So,
man.
Zakatel the carry. Bez already knows it. I believe everybody knows that Zakatel is the hope of Team Switzerland. Besides that, he has a pretty experienced tourney player here. We have GG Boy, participating from last time, playing tournaments for a while already. Same goes for Vapsme. In fact, coming from 6 digit, being a crazy consistent D ranker. But when I just look at the roster, I feel like that there might be a skill cap issue for a lot of players. I can only be sure that Zakatel is not gonna get skill capped. But yeah, even though they have those tourney players, it's going to be really tough to explore the 10k plus tourney territory. And I think even though I also have bias
Hating.
for Sweden, I am gonna be hating. I'm putting them at the
Oh
end
yeah.
too.
Oh yeah.
I missed. I
You
missed.
missed.
I missed.
No,
I
the
missed.
player.
His
Sorry,
slider
guys.
broke.
Tapping
His
player.
slider broke.
I
Tapping
missed.
player.
His slider
Tapping
broke.
player.
Man, this is
Yeah,
a team
I'm
that
here
last
with
year
them.
was so close to qualifying. They were seed 18th, and yeah, overall the quality of the players remained a bit the same with a couple new additions. Overall, it doesn't fully convince me that they can do better this year, considering that the rosters around them had major changes and a lot of improvement. I don't think Switzerland has had that much improvement from the past edition to this one for me to justify putting them in 13-16.
Yeah, Switzerland for me also is one of the countries that loses this arms race the most, with rosters improving and more players getting in. I think another struggle that Switzerland always had is that every really good player they had over like basically all time was just very gimmick focused almost. Like they produce great gimmick players, and I think Zakatel is even grinding and has improved a lot over the last year. But that's just not enough to qualify overall. Like they need more mechanics players, and the mechanics players on this team that I personally know, like Shadow, for example, are kind of just playing CS and not grinding the game.
Interesting.
Based as fuck, though.
So that's kind of where the struggles lie. I think even if Zakatel does his best, then this team will still struggle Just if there's a NFC on every alt, every tag, every gimmick map, every hidden map, then maybe they qualify, but that's very much to ask, and I don't think that will happen.
I pretty much agree entirely. Zagdal has been around forever, and he's actually improved significantly in the last year from what I've seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, you just cannot, like, the maps he doesn't pop off on are going to tank them too much. I think this team DNQs, and I see it as very difficult for them to qualify. But I wish them luck. I hope to see Zagdal pop off.
We wish the best for all the teams that we put in do not qualify, because obviously we would love to see teams that don't qualify upset us and qualify, and maybe qualify quite higher, and obviously the favorites not do as good. Maybe not in the case of Sweden, because Siga is here. Maybe Siga wants the favorite to do well, but I personally would want to see closer matchups between the favorites and the ones that do not qualify, but who knows.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, guys. If you see yourself in DNQ, it's basically take it as a challenge. Like, prove us wrong, and of course, yeah.
This prediction stream is meant for fun, and I think everyone should take these predictions with a grain of salt, because it's mostly things we take on paper in the end.
Yeah.
Because on paper things seem a lot different than they're in reality. In the case of last year, Russia, for example, what happened with them? So everything here is meant to be for fun and for fun only, and we would always invite you to challenge and prove us wrong in the actual tournament. So I think we can
phenomenal stuff from everyone here. But before we move on, I'd like to contrast the wholesomeness by telling you guys nothing beats fun like getting a supporter banner. So drop down into the link below, donate, and you can get your name and you can get your face displayed here on stream. All right, let's move on.
And now, until the end of Swiss stage, remember they're discounted to €5 instead of the 10 that they were before. This is the perfect time to support your country and show the true appreciation for the tournament by helping the tournament increase the prize pool for the players and obviously to our beloved staff.
Yeah, because the thing with the banners as well, not only you will get it, but also other people will know that you do support that particular country, because all the supporter banners, they will be shown in the start and soon screens for all the matches, and they will be constantly updating. So yeah, you will have your place on the stream if you decide to. But regardless, we have the final bosses of our prediction stream. We have 3 countries left, and that's going to be really interesting. Starting off,
all of these are so spicy.
I would say Turkey is
the best. The best to last, man. Holy!
All of these are so spicy.
Yeah. So Turkish backstory, right? In 5EC, you see there was no roster. There was 0 players. In fact, this time they got 40 signups. Like, that in itself is just mind blowing. And these players, it's like half of them are pretty much known. The other half, I have no darn clue who they are. I know Zybit is a very strong player, getting around top 30 individual in 5WC qualifiers, being the core of Turkey. And the other 2 that I know is that Drasto and Ling. They are the fresh tourney players. They won a Turkish tournament. They got the badge from it, so they do get that experience with time. The other 5, like, I'm sorry, I have no idea, but I feel like if you have 40 players, you definitely have some hidden talents that you can show off in the actual tournament. I think I just do not want to miss out on Turkey, so I will put them as qualified. I will put them at least at top 13, top 16.
Yeah, Turkey last year, it was a question of, I don't know if they read the forum post to realize they were included in Europe. And I think the same goes for a couple other countries that haven't had any signups in the case of the Caspian Sea ones. Since, there's those countries that still haven't had the signups, and I think next year, if there is a next year, might be also showing up just like Turkey this one. But yeah, Turkey on paper looks not bad, not amazing, about average, but they look good enough to qualify and at least win one match if they get a good matchup in Swiss. I don't know if it's gonna go beyond that. I think I maybe value Turkey too highly, but I think that 9 to 12 for me is a sweet spot for me to just put them and lock them in.
I have almost the same reasons. I know like Zybit relatively well. I've played against him this year twice, maybe, or maybe just once. I do think there has to be some sort of carry involved, but I do trust that will happen. And then there's just enough support that this is one of the teams where I comfortably want to say that they do qualify. This, of course, introduces some issues with our list here.
We'll get to it when we get to
I
it.
will note that I had both Italy and Finland not qualifying out of those, so that's why I have Turkey here above those actually.
Yeah.
But that's half of that is like gut feeling kind of thing. I know like 2.5 players basically, and have pretty high hopes for one, and think that something might happen with this roster. I do think they qualify.
So there were a lot of teams that I was considering do they qualify, and quite a few I discarded relatively quickly. The two that there was 4 teams that I had 2 qualifying slots for, and I had 4 teams to place in, and it was Turkey, Romania, Finland, and Austria. And I ended up with, I think I have the most faith in Finland and Austria, but it's really, really, really close. So I'm going to put them D and Q. I think we're going to end up with probably Finland being moved down to D and Q as like a group vote thing.
Wow.
But it's really close.
I
Like
mean,
between these couple of teams, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
this is
Yeah.
the arms race Tim has been continually mentioned about.
Yeah.
really tough.
Yeah, no, the Turkish roster for me, the reason why I put them in DNQ is that there's no X factor in this Turkish roster for me to really pull on this year. I mean, we're talking about, of course, the few players that do well, but like Philoxen said, there's a lot we don't know about this team, and the same can't be said for the current teams, or at least most of the current teams that we have in 13th to 16th. So for me, it's gonna be a DNQ. Might be barely on the edge, but I mean, I don't know ball. I don't know ball here. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Ball.
Right. So we're in a very tricky position because someone is actually gonna get really sad after we move someone from the 13 to 16.
Kill Romania right now.
Nah, man.
I think it's like Finland was seed 14 out of qualifiers last time, and the roster got worse, and the other teams got better.
I
That's
see
just
your point. I see your
opinion on
point.
Finland.
I
think
have
agree.
Finland qualifying, but I'm down to put them down.
I have Finland not qualifying, so
Okay, yeah.
I think Finland is unfortunately the sacrifice that we have to make for
Bro,
this
Finland-
list.
Giggle69 my goat, but it's not.
Ah.
No, I feel so bad for this, bro. Oh my god.
My 6WC brother, bro. It has to happen.
It's just
Has to,
it's
yeah.
such a close like this
Yeah.
this Swiss stage, like everyone fighting for Swiss stage is gonna be gonna be insane to watch. I can't wait for qualifiers to actually start tomorrow, but it's it's gonna be insane between all of these teams.
Yeah, we have really distinct brackets in the list. I feel like 1, 2, 4 is pretty undivisive between us, and then 5 to 8 is kind of.
We should
It's
share
kinda
it later
obvious.
to actually get a full
Yeah.
idea of our list.
Yeah. Wait.
Like we have like brackets where we kind of sort the teams into that go beyond the tiers here, but like we're all pretty aware that some of them are like pretty close. It's just kind of, it looks bad for the qualifying teams because those are just like not in the tournament, right? That's more than just that one ranking away. That's just you don't play.
Dude,
Yeah. Fair enough. But yeah, we have two more teams, and one more team will have to go into the disqualify. Well, no, not disqualify. In the DNQ.
Bro got
Disqualify
flashbacks from last
them.
year. Bro got flashbacks from last year.
I'm just saying,
fault.
I have some spicy takes about the next two teams. I think it's gonna be funny.
I think it's gonna be
Aw.
really funny. I think it's gonna be really fun because guess
Stop
what?
edging.
Boom! We have Team Ukraine right here, guys.
The big DQ of the
Yeah,
big drama of last
keep it
year.
there. Keep it there. Keep it there, guys. Keep it there.
It's
there.
I don't want to
Okay.
talk about the situation, so I'll just let Philoxen start talking about the actual team.
Yeah, okay, we can ignore what happened last year, but yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to analyze. But basically,
Right. I will fix for this.
what we have here, I think it's worth just judging the team based of their
Oh,
5
no,
WC
fuck.
performance here. They got top 17, top 24. They got a couple of roster changes. There are new people like Fadilog, who is a very strong player coming from the 6 digits. Not so long ago, proven to just be able to beat some 4 digits in tourneys. You have Flippy as well, who's a strong gimmick player. And you also have Aozora coming in from 6 EC, actually managing to rank up from 100k to 10k, which is pretty interesting. Really strong aim player. The other guys are gonna be Kazuki and Zelrich. Those are really experienced players. They basically have been participating in those 5 WCs, 5 EC tournaments for years already. Also, same goes for Edgarchka. Really experienced tourney player, and Cooler Bra. Now that's a player that actually I did not know up until I checked the tryout results. This guy got top 1 in tryout results besides all of those pretty good players, and that definitely makes up a really strong core. Just one thing before judging the team is that there is a really strong tourney player in Ukraine named Respective, and Respective actually came back for Ukraine to participate in tryouts, and Respective did not make the team, so that should tell us something. And for that, despite Gamil having DNQ, I really love you, bro. I'm putting 9th to 12th for Team Ukraine.
We're talking about hate watching. I think there's an obvious hate watcher here for Team Ukraine.
He's my biggest fan. He's my biggest fan.
I just want to say I didn't think
It's-
people would rate Ukraine. I thought that the consensus would be having them in DNQ. So I'm surprised.
In DQ,
for
actually.
9-12.
it's kind of crazy we agree on a team, and it's Ukraine out of all of them.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to move 2 teams down because this
Yeah,
is
we're gonna
clearly
have to
just not
disqualify them.
9-12.
Okay, now that's terrible. Now that's terrible.
Not again. No. Stop.
Yo,
stop.
guys, I'm completely unbiased. Move down Belux and Italy.
Belux. Oh,
We're
I-
moving down
Uh,
Belarus. I thought we moved down Denmark.
I thought about
Yeah, I was gonna
Denmark as
think
well.
Denmark. I was gonna
Like-
say Denmark down.
I mean,
and-
we can do that too, sure.
I mean, Italy, sure, but I was
Moving
thinking more
Belux down
Denmark.
would be like exactly my list. That's why I said it. So
Ah,
Oh,
fair enough.
really? Oh, it's all according to his plan. GG. guys.
yeah, my machinations
it's-
have come
I
to their
think
final
it's- never mind.
stage.
So that's what we are doing. Oh, my fault.
I think overall this Ukraine roster is looking good. Like even if they lost a couple names, I think Aptem is one of their bigger losses because
That's
bro just decided to go into OWC because he felt like it, and now he's on our staff team. So yeah, it's just it's kind of a loss for them, but in the end, it kind of worked out for them because their team is looking really good. So it's not that big of a loss as other teams where they lost a bigger hitter, like for Estonia, where they lost Evo Gamings, for example. So I don't know. It's a team that I think could do good. Last year they qualified 9th. I think this year they can repeat it or be close and make Swiss stage. And then in Swiss stage, it's just gonna be a matter of matchups and how they overall perform and show their experience with the pools this year.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think generally this is just a more well-rounded team than the ones below it. Like I don't see this team placing below 9 to 12, just from a roster depth perspective. I think the one below it, the teams below this have more issues with the roster overall.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Okay.
Yep.
Is it time?
It's
Is it
time.
time? Yeah, I believe that's it. We got the last country on the list.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Thanks
Sure.
everyone for watching. Now
Oh
we
man.
have
Oh my
the
God.
elephants in the room are here. What do we even start from? Well, obviously, you have Hamsterl, Vingo, Emerald, Nukes, Wiggler, Gary Eats. Those six, they played 5WC. They absolutely showed some top-notch performance over there, and they all six of them, they are here. Now the new players are Umaroth and Timel Tomal, and even though you think, oh, these two are not so experienced, well, they have already won a tournament. It was Bob Esponia tournament, if I remember correctly. They won it alongside Niux and and Amro. So like they already have some synergy with the OG players of the roster, right? So I can just pretty much make a conclusion that their team synergy is really good and they know what they're doing, but logistically, we only have the second place spot left right here.
I mean, we could very well move France or Germany up.
We
but,
could very well, yeah, because
I want to speak about this team in a bit, but I want to see what you guys have to say
I
first.
think we should first speak about this team and actually place it on where we place them on our list.
Yeah.
And then we can actually think, hey, we should move this one up or this one down. For me personally, United Kingdom kind of just improved. I feel like they're two big players that they lost was Rubik, which was not theirs, was from Ireland, and Metal Face, who in my opinion I rate quite highly as a player, as a tourney player, because they're just, in my opinion, they're really good tourney player, especially in the 5-digit scene, and losing them is a big of hit. But then you look at their roster now and it's like, did it really matter? Did it really affect them? Is this gonna change the fact that they're just gonna get back to where they were last year, where they made top 4, qualifying third? I feel like this year is just gonna be a repeat of what happened last year, with the difference of them actually making grand finals weekend. For me, they're third on my list.
Yeah. No, it's like Baz. I mean, Metal Face did play, but he is in the minor league roster. Like,
So we're Russian.
Yeah.
So we're
Like,
Russian. So
Metal
we're
Face
Russian.
is
So
not out of not in the roster for that reason. Yeah.
That's the thing, is like they lost him, but did it matter? Because they got everyone else. That's a problem.
yeah, they
clearly.
got everyone else. That's the thing. So yeah, I believe Tangelo. What do you think of it? Because you still have DNQ.
I have them in fourth, which is
Uh-huh.
maybe a bit of a low ball. I, as previously said, just thought France would edge them out with pure punk hysteria, star power, and second and first were pretty locked in Russia and Germany for me. I knew almost nothing about most of these players. I did know about the core 4, or not the core 4, but the 4 players that won Bob Esponja. I always just kind of assumed that was a fluke, in the same way that the tournament was not very great. Sorry, hot take, maybe.
Wow.
But recently I've learned that those players are pretty legit. Like, I knew about Emro and Wiggler. Wiggler is like improving insanely quickly. Previously she was named Frost the Fox, so I had them on my radar for a while. But this team just I don't know. I feel like I expected the United Kingdom roster to look different this year. There are a few players that decided to almost quit the game, basically. I have them in fourth because I think the other 3 teams will edge them out, but I think this is like the closest one where I would move them potentially even to second place.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I just got a ping from Nick from the Netherlands.
Oh no!
And
Interesting.
he had to remind me that they did a scrim against UK last week and won. So what does that do to our lists, guys?
I mean, scrims is a bit difficult because you don't know truly the potential of teams
obviously.
until the actual tournament starts. And also got the ping from Slovakia dissing me, like, why did I put him DNQ? I'm crying.
Yeah.
Okay,
Shadow
well,
also sent me. Shadow also sent me a middle
I guess
finger
I
for
should
the TS thing.
say. I guess I should say my piece before Sig does, because he has a hot.
He has
take
the
here,
spicy
but-
one.
Yeah, so for me, my main point of comparison for this roster is with Germany, because these two rosters, Very, very new rosters. There's a lot we don't know about them when it comes to World Cup, yada yada yada. And frankly, I think in this toss-up, I remember having Germany as fourth. I think United Kingdom beats out Germany. But it's really a toss-up between both of them. But at the end of the day, I personally still think that France edges out the UK just because of their returning roster, and it's really the second, third, and fourth are very, very like shuffle for me. And the only reason why I have this order is purely based off how I think this team will do under nerves and under pressure. What about you, Sig?
Okay. So,
Okay,
So,
I have a lot of thoughts about this one, obviously. What I can say is I'll start. A few months ago, I got invited to the SBF team with Frost, Wingo, and Curry, also known as Wiggler, Gary, Eats, and Rao.
Interesting.
And this ended up pretty much rejuvenating my passion for the game. These players are both incredibly good. Like, they're so fucking good. They improve a lot and they care so much. And since then, I've gotten very close with a lot of the UK 5-digit community. And I've seen how much effort they put in and how much just the whole team is improving. There was so much competition to make this team. Like, people like Metalface, Jazz, and Silva did not make the A team, which is like diabolical. As for the players, there are the 3 players that I teamed with who I have so much love for. And then there is 2 players that I think everyone here knows, Neox and Sparkly Fairy, also known as Humster. Neox is maybe the best tapping player in the tournament.
Cool.
He was one of the people who won Bob Esponja, and he was a driving force there. And Humster, this guy usually doesn't take the game very seriously. He usually like doesn't warm up or practice for matches. He's actually caring about the game now, and when he does, he is ridiculously good. The 3 remaining players in Timul Tamul, Shimui, and Umaroth, these 3 players are incredibly good as well, but they are definitely lesser known, and I'm gatekeeping some of their talent a bit, so I won't talk about what they're good on. I think on paper, this team is definitely weaker than Russia, but I think the effort this community puts in could put them in first.
Fuck, dude, I
I
hate
see.
you. I hate you, man. I
That
hate
was a,
you.
that was a good convincing
Fine.
speech, bro. That was a good
Fine,
speech.
bro,
That's the problem,
fine.
Also, Jack, I'm checking
Fine.
PayPal in an hour.
Oh man. Oh man. What do
I
we
move
do?
it up. I move it up because if I'm gonna base my metric off how good team morale and mental is, yeah, okay, Sig, you sold it. You sold it. You sold it.
Bruh,
The
bruh.
sales pitch work for Gamil. It's such a difficult place to put UK because they're a team that literally can destroy and absolutely overcome up every single team in the tournament if they're at their peak.
Like
I
I still
think
think
realistically-
France got it. I still
realistically, this team can go up to 2, up to the second place.
Yeah,
I think for first place, it would take Russia imploding first.
like
I-
last year.
Hey,
Yeah, I
hey,
mean,
we said that that's not on
we
the
said
good.
earlier, yeah, we
That's
said
not
that
on
it's
the
not. We're not ranking based on team mental, and I think arguably, like this team has a lot of team mental. I've seen that with Wiggler, for example. I think Liv Routit on Russia has the same mental. Like I think those players are very equal in terms of improvement and general trajectory.
Then we
I
can
see.
agree that UK goes into second.
I don't
Right.
know if they do. Like, just judging by the votes of the general people here, how many people here put France above UK? Like, I'm just checking.
Not
That's
I
me.
did. I had friends on three.
Wait,
I
where
put
did I
France
put
above.
France? I put France fourth. Pretty sure I put France fourth.
above.
Yeah, I put France
above.
fourth.
In fact, I put France in second. I think.
Okay, I think
This
this
is
ends up with 2 people putting them above UK and 3 putting them below UK. So that
Didn't you
does
put
mean
Kazakhstan in second, Phil? Oh, wait a second, bro.
Yeah, but no, I had to change because we already had someone there.
so I think that means UK slots into second actually.
Good job. Good job. We
Because
did
I
it.
have
Ain't
I
no
have I have Germany fifth and sixth, and then I have France fourth, and then I have United Kingdom third, which was above both of them, which were fourth and third.
Oh wait, never mind. No, I had France at third, but I had the UK on fourth. That's fine. That's fine.
I
I
just
think
wanted
France
to-
third was like pretty not unanimous, but like averaged out pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe
but
we
this
should
one is
just
a bit
put UK
tricky.
second.
this
then,
one,
yeah.
if you average it out, it also becomes third. So like, you know,
Bombo clot, bro.
I mean, for me, it was also a toss up. I think
Man,
UK's
roll
roster
to
is
it.
definitely deeper than the French roster. I think French roster just has a little more carry potential, and I was expecting that to be
French-
there.
Oh,
No, that's
France
what they
kind of
did as well.
imploded from last year comparatively. Like not as much, but like they lost a couple. I don't know how noticeable it's gonna
area
be.
is 100% better now, so I don't know.
It kind of equals out. It's a situation like the UK where they kind of lost some, they won more. So I don't know. It's really tricky, man. This is horrible. Is
Yeah,
that?
it's-
I wish it
No,
was
no.
simpler. Can it be simpler? Can someone make
Yeah,
it
back
simpler,
it up,
please?
back it up. We roll. That's it. We roll for the
We leave the
replacement.
we leave the top three empty, and we leave it up to interpretation based on what we said the whole stream.
I mean,
Exactly.
we could just ask if everyone is fine with putting UK on 2, because
mean,
that's kind of the only thing that matters, right?
I am definitely seeing them at least grand finals weekend, so they have to be second for me, because they could beat France. They could definitely beat France. It's just a matter if they can beat Russia, which I think like 9 times out of 10, maybe like 7 times out of 10 Russia wins over UK, and then there's a lot of things into question. I
I
feel
see.
like second is considering the teams in the top 4, second for the UK is ideal.
I'd still say third. I don't know.
I think France at second doesn't feel that great either, because
think?
that's where
Ah.
I think that roster has like
Could be.
1.5 people that scale into grand finals.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. You're right with this one though. Yeah.
Like
It's
UK
about- it's about the
certainly has
skill gap.
better roster depth and scaling. That's like
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Considering Metal Face is not even here, and like Jazz did not make it. No. The UK definitely have some hydrogen bombs in the roster. So
You have the reincarnation of Plasma and Bubbleman.
oh my god.
okay,
But yeah, okay. I think then we've been stuck on this one for a bit of time already. I think second in this case, because we had the spot here, and yeah, that's it.
this
That's
is
it.
the Russia
We have
killer,
it.
guys. This is the Russia killer.
if we're trusting Sigil, then the tier list will look better after anyway, right?
Surely.
Then this makes the tier list better.
I better see
right?
the greatest France versus UK matchup, and then the greatest UK versus Russia matchup.
True.
Better
fun.
I need that. I mean, last year matches in grand finals were really good, but they felt a bit one-sided.
the Sweden France match, dude, we got
Oh my
slaughtered.
God.
It was hard to watch. I was actually like crying.
No.
In that match. But dude, Liesel having internet issues just
Yeah.
killed us.
No, man.
It's-
We just
it
couldn't
was-
play the game anymore.
It just, I think I truly what we got from this whole prediction stream is the competition is as close as it can get, because all of these teams up to
They
a
already
cutoff
made a
point.
speech bubble gif.
No.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness.
god. Who did that?
10 seconds when we finished the list, by the way. We didn't even get to fully finish talking about it. But yeah, I was gonna say, like, the
is-
Hey, your
competition
staff
is.
member did that. Your staff member.
Oh my
No,
god,
like,
is
oh
it,
my
is it
God.
Watch the Last? I swear to god, if it's Watch the Last, I'm gonna kill that man. In game.
Game and game.
It's
yeah.
Artyom.
No, guys, this is like the hardest prediction stream ranking that I have ever made. Like out of the
Yo,
previous.
Sigil
2
is
or 3
creepy.
that I
Holy
made.
shit.
Oh my god.
Take it in,
I'm
like me
typing-
putting Sweden that low. He's coming. He's coming for my life. He's gonna take my life.
Yeah, no. I think for the end we can just like check up on our ranking, do we all agree with like the current rankings? Do they make sense?
I mean, personally, I would put one team higher, but it's slightly biased, I guess.
Yeah, my only qualm is that I probably put Kazakhstan over Czechia in 7th to 8th, but even that's I'm okay
You're
with
out.
Czechia being
Like,
up there. I'm okay.
Overall, I'm happy with the rankings. I just would put Poland a bit higher. That's my opinion on it.
I see. I
Fine
see.
with
So, like,
the end
we
results.
all have like minor switches that we would like to do, and like it's like one for like each commentator. So I think
Yeah.
overall it is pretty chill that we do not want to change like all of the things. So
You know
I
what
think
that
in the end,
means? Make your own list, screenshot it, and then post it so everyone knows what you actually thought about the
That's true,
about the
that's
tier
true.
list.
do
Do
that,
we have
do that.
pickings this year for 5EC?
We do. It's
Yep.
a work
Thank you,
in progress.
Hello Watcher. Thank you, Hello
Hello Watcher
Watcher.
still hasn't responded to me, but we should have them because I'm pretty sure we got like 20 votes, which is again amazing. Thank you
Oh
very
yeah,
much
we
for
got around
Okay.
voting.
30 actually. Yeah, yeah.
I last time I checked, it was 20. Let me check now. Because he still hasn't
Interesting.
responded to me. Wait, 25. So 25 is a
Okay,
lot.
okay, that's cool. That's cool. All right, then I believe
Hollow Watcher
there's-
should be able to just DM me and tell me, hey, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. But for the prediction stream, guys, I don't actually think there's much to talk about. We figured out that the competition is gonna be really tense this year. As mentioned, we got 31 team this year compared to the last year's 23. So that's gonna be a hell of fun to watch. In qualifiers, a lot of teams will unfortunately will not qualify, but they will have their shot in minor league. For minor league, the competition is gonna be even crazier. Holy shit! Wait, yeah, but that pretty much rounds it all up. Of course, I'm calling we made like a bunch of mistakes with the actual placements. Still have a lot of the teams, the players of which we are not familiar with. A lot of new people coming for 5EC. And that is just beautiful, the nature of those country-based tournaments, that you never know which country will shoot higher than the others. Unless it is USA, but we don't have USA here. But yeah, I believe that is actually pretty much it. The full showcase of qualifiers is actually going to be tomorrow at 16 UTC. We will make an announcement about that in a bit after the end of the stream. And the qualifiers will be lasting for 2 weeks straight due to the New Year's event. So, yep, you have the entirety of 14 days to actually play your qualifiers. You choose any time and boom, you have it. We will wish you all the best for those qualifiers. But for now, guys, I think we can actually round it all up, Bez.
Absolute amazing. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you Tim, Sige, and obviously Gamil for being here. Giving us a lot of insight on a lot of the teams that we basically just rounding up all of our collective knowledge, and obviously Felixson as well, rounding all of our collective knowledge and making sure we do the prediction as non-scuffed as possible, even though the tier list might be memed for 50 months after the tournament, just like last year's, because last year was everything but what we expected. But who knows, maybe this year actually comes out the way we predicted it. Maybe not. I'm just super excited. I'm super excited for this tournament, and I'm super excited to see all the new faces, all the returning faces, and obviously just how people will like the overall better formatted Swiss compared to last year, where it was a bit of a disaster from my part.
No, it's okay, Bez. We'll try to meet your expectations, guys, but holy shit, this stream has been going for 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Long
This is not good.
stream.
This is not good, guys. For your information, 5WC predictions were less than 3 hours, and they had 50 teams. We only had 31, so that was not.
We yapped a lot.
We have to chill. We have to chill, guys. We all deserve a break. But yeah, I believe that rounds it all up. Thank you everybody for watching. Check out amazing Bezon Rules plushie. But yeah, we have all the links in the description, I believe, to 5EC forum post. If you are not a player but you want to spectate the tournament, go check it out. For the donations, you already know what to do. You've been informed. Those supporter banners, those personal banners will not be left behind. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching in the commentary booth. You had me, Philoxen. Joining me today was Bass, Tim, also known as Tangela Merkel, Sige, and Gami Crayola. Thank you all, guys, for participating and fighting your time to actually share your opinions on the predictions. And for now, this is your 5EC team signing off. Bye bye, everybody, and have a nice day.
Bye, guys.